Most accountants know Excel, but very few know how to use Excel like a professional accountant. In this full course, you will learn practical Excel skills that can save hours of manual work every week. You will learn how to create professional salary slips and attendance sheets, how to read financial statements in just 10 minutes like a pro, how to convert numbers into words automatically in Excel, and how to build real accounting templates used in professional offices. No confusing theory, just practical Excel skills accountants actually use every day. So open Excel with me and let's turn your spreadsheet skills into professional level accounting skills. Hello viewers, looking for a professional salary slip you can actually use in your office or workplace? Let's build one in Excel that updates automatically with just a click. In this video, Learn Accounting Pro Studio will guide you through creating a fully automated salary slip in Excel. I will also show you how to use this SpellNumber function to bring net salary number into words in your salary slip, as this SpellNumber function isn't built into Excel by default. You can also download a free ready-made template of this salary slip from the video description. So let's start. First, we will set up the layout. Go to the View tab and switch to Page Layout. Now adjust the column widths. Select column A and F and press Alt-HOW on the keyboard and set widths to 0.45 and hit enter. Similarly, set columns B through E to 1.5. Now add company details. Skip the first row. Merge cells from B2 to E2 and type your company name. Do the same on the next row for company address. Right. Now bold and adjust the font size of the company name to 20 and address to 12. Leave one row blank, then merge the next row from B through E and type salary slip. Make the text bold, enlarge the font size to 18 and apply a thick bottom border like this. Now add fields such as employee ID in cell B7 here, employee name in cell D7, designation in cell B8, and month or year in cell D8. Now select these and bold and italic and increase font size to 12. Now highlight this area and select all borders. Now insert two main headers, earnings in cell B10 and deductions in cell D10. Now merge these cells like this and bold and italic and increase font size to 12. Right. Now under this earnings, list basic salary, HRA, transport allowance, bonus and total earnings. Now under deductions, list provident fund, health insurance, loan, tax and total deductions. Now skip one row, then add net salary and salary in words. Now select this range and bold and italic. Now select this whole range and center align and select all borders. Now merge the cells C, D and E here for a clean look, like this. Now skip one row again and write salary paid by with two options, cash or check. Right. Now go to the developer tab. If you can't find developer tab, just right mouse click anywhere in the ribbon, then customize the ribbon and check developer box here and then press OK. Now go to the developer tab, insert and select this checkbox and draw them here like this. And similarly for check, insert and draw it here. Right. Once added, you can easily tick the box depending on whether the payment is made in cash or by check. Now skip one row and merge this row at the bottom and this one as well, and add placeholders for employee signature and director signature, and use underscore to create space for signing like this. Right. Now select this range and apply thick border around the slip and use white fill color for neatness like this. Now add a fill color to the earnings and deductions headers so they pop. We will select this color. Right. To calculate total earnings and total deductions, use Excel's sum function and select this range, close parenthesis and hit enter, and copy and paste here. Right. For net salary here, use formula equals to total earnings minus total deductions. This subtracts all deductions from the total earnings to calculate the net salary. To display salary in words here, use the SpellNumber function. You won't find the SpellNumber function built into Excel by default, but you can watch my detailed video linked to the top right here on how to add this feature and convert numbers into words. I've also shared the VBA code and video link in the description. Now we will simply go to the developer tab, Visual Basic, insert module and select all of this VBA code that I've attached with the video and paste it here and close it. Now you can use SpellNumber function. Here you can see it. This, we will select our currency as dollar and our sub currency as cent, and we don't want to display sub currency, so we will select false and hit enter. You can see here it's showing $0 only. Now let's make the salary slip fully dynamic. Instead of entering each detail manually, we'll link it to a second sheet here where I've already prepared the employee salary data. To do this, we will create a drop down in cell C7 here by going to Data tab, select Data Validation, choose List, and then in Source, select the range of employee ID on the salary data sheet so a drop down appears and any chosen ID automatically fills the slip, and hit enter and then press OK. Now you can select any ID from a drop down menu. Now we'll use the VLOOKUP function to pull in the employee's details automatically from the salary data sheet based on the ID you select. So for that we will be using this table, which we have named here. You can see table 1, and these are all the columns. So now let's use the VLOOKUP function. Type equals to VLOOKUP. The lookup value is the employee ID, comma, table array is the full table of salary data named table 1, comma, column index number tells Excel which columns information from this table to bring back. For example, column 2 for name, column 3 for the designation, and so on. So we have employee name in column 2 here. So we will type here 2, close parenthesis, and hit enter. And here you can see we get John Miller. Employee 001 is John Miller. Right? This finds the entered employee ID in your data table and returns the corresponding details, such as name, designation, and so on. Now copy the same formula into other cells to retrieve additional fields like designation and salary components. But first we will apply $sign to the employee ID here. Press F4 on the keyboard to fix the employee ID cell and just change the column index number for each individual cell. So now copy it, paste here, and designation is in column 3, so change it to column 3, and there you have CEO. Now do this for all the fields. And finally for tax, column is 12. Right? Now select this range, middle align. Now highlight the salary related cells. Press Ctrl 1 and choose your desired currency. We will select dollar here with 0 decimals and press OK. We will adjust alignment of this as well. Right? Now let's test the automation to check if everything is working. Change the employee ID from the drop down. Instantly all employee details and salary slip values will update like this. Right? And that's how you build a professional, fully automated salary slip in Excel, ready to be used in your office or workplace. Try it out today, and don't forget to subscribe to Learn Accounting Pro Studio for more practical Excel automation tutorials you can apply on the job. Thanks for watching, keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello viewers, in this video Learn Accounting Pro Studio will show you how to navigate with one click from a smart home dashboard to any month's fully automated attendance and salary sheet, and then back again, and that too without using a single line of VBA. You'll see how to build it step by step, create a home page with clickable month buttons, generate auto-updating month and weekday headers like this, use drop-downs for quick attendance entry, highlight and automate paid Sundays, calculate total payable days up to the last marked entry, and compute per day rate, HRA, PF, and net salary, all within Excel, fully dynamic and ready for real payroll use. Watch the full video to see this powerful Excel system come alive. And if you want a free download of the template simply comment template below with your email and I will personally send it to you. So let's start. Open a new worksheet. Click the tab for sheet 2. We will use sheet 1 as a home page for our attendance and salary sheet with month buttons. Now in this sheet 2, select B5 through E5 and merge them. Type attendance for the month in that merged cell. Apply fill color and make the text bold so the title stands out. Click cell B7 to begin the table headers. Type these column headings: employee ID, name, date of joining, and designation. Now we will use these row 7 and row 8 for the day and date headers. So merge the employee label boxes so the left side stays tidy and the calendar starts at column F. Right. Now make the text bold and apply fill color. And now type the staff details. Right. Now in cell F5 here, we want the sheet name, the month to appear automatically. Whatever you name the sheet, Jan, Feb, March, that text should show here. To do this, paste the mid cell formula exactly as provided in the video description, like this, and hit enter. This formula reads your worksheet name from the file path and show the same month that you type in the sheet tab here. I will type Jan for January, and you see this changes to January. It's automatic and reduces manual typing. Once the mid formula is in cell F5, you'll see the sheet name appear here. Try renaming the sheet tab to Feb. Here F5 updates to Feb. Right? I will now type Jan here for January. Now merge cells F5 through H5. Apply a fill color. Set the text to bold and change the font color to white so the month label becomes a clear header above your calendar, which we will prepare here. Now in cell J5 here, we want the starting full date for the month, so we will use the date value function to convert the text in F5 into a real Excel date. Formula is equals to date value, open parenthesis, quotation, and type 1, close quotation, and now type ampersand and select this F5 cell and close parenthesis and hit enter. After the formula returns a numeric date value, format it for readability. Now select this J5 cell, press Ctrl 1 on the keyboard, date, and select your desirable date format and click OK. Now you see this links day 1 with the text from F5, producing the starting date of the selected month, for example 1st January 2025. Now in cell N5 here, we want the end of the month date, the last calendar date for the selected month. Use EO month with the start date in J5. So formula is equals to EO month, open parenthesis, select this J5 cell, comma, 0 and close parenthesis and hit enter. Now format this N5 as date 2, select this N5 cell, press Ctrl 1 on the keyboard and then date and your desired date format and click OK. This returns the correct final date for the month, for example 31st Jan 2025. Now we will merge JKL NOP cells like this, and I will type 2 here in cell M5, and I will apply fill color here and here. Make the text bold, change the font color to white like this. Now test it. Rename the sheet tab to March. You'll see J5 changes to March 1, 2025, and N5 updates to 31st March 2025 automatically. This keeps all headers and date logic synced to the sheet name. Now we want to fill the dates across the header row, starting from first and stopping at the month's end. So we will start from cell F8. Formula for this cell will be equals to, and select this J5 cell and hit enter. Now formula for the next cell G8 will be equals to if open parenthesis F8 is less than N5, comma, then F8 plus 1, comma, otherwise return as 0, close parenthesis and hit enter. Now select this cell, Control 1 on the keyboard, go to date and select your desired date format and click OK. This formula checks whether the previous date is before the month's end stored in N5. If yes, it adds 1 day, otherwise it leaves the cell blank. Here's a common problem. The date row shows full dates like 1st March, 2nd March 2025, but we only want to display the day numbers 1, 2 and 3 and so on, so the calendar looks clean. So to solve this problem, I will type Jan here and select this F8 cell and press Ctrl 1 on the keyboard, choose custom, and in the type box just type D and then click OK. This tells Excel show only the day number. Now do this for cell G8 as well. Go to custom, remove it and type D and click OK. Now open this formula and press F4 to fix this N5 cell and hit enter, and now drag this formula across the full range like this. This ensures the month fills correctly while showing only day numbers. Now we want to show weekday names above each date, so in cell F7 here, type formula equals to text, open parenthesis, select this F8 cell, comma, quotation marks, and type D 3 times, close quotation marks, close parenthesis and hit enter. And there you see we have Wednesday showing here. This formula converts the date in the cell into a 3-letter weekday like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now copy the formula across the weekday header row like this. After we add weekdays, you can see the calendar column can be too wide. So to correct this, select all date columns and double click any column edge like this, so the columns shrink to only content. Now select all these weekday rows, go to Home, Orientation and select Rotate Text Up. Now again select all these columns and adjust the column width again so rotated text fits neatly like this. Now select all of this data, go to Borders and select all borders. This makes the grid clear. Now do a bit of formatting. Select this weekday row, apply fill color, make the text bold. Similarly do it here. We will apply this fill color and make the text white and bold. Right? Now we want our Sundays, our paid holidays, to be visible at a glance. To do that, select the full attendance area, for example from cell F9 here through AJ18, go to Home, Conditional Formatting, New Rule, use a formula to determine which cells to format, and enter the rule formula here, equals to F $7 equals to quotation mark Sun for Sunday, close quotation marks, and then go to Format, Fill, and select red fill color, and OK, and then OK again. And there you see it applies to the whole attendance range, so every column whose row 7 says Sunday gets highlighted. Another common problem is if your date formula somehow picked the wrong year for your worksheet, because date value function that we entered here in J5 picks your system date automatically, and if your attendance sheet year is different from your system date, then we need to edit the dynamic sheet label formula that we used in cell F5 here and add and fix the year. So we will open this formula and modify the mid formula, and at the end we will add ampersand, quotation mark, space, quotation mark again, ampersand, and select your year. I will select 2025 here. You can select any year you want at the end here. So the sheet uses the fixed year 2025 or whatever year's attendance sheet that you are preparing, and hit enter. This prevents headers and Sundays from shifting when your system clock changes. Right? Now we want to enter attendance mark for each employee, for example P for present and A for absent, under each date cell. If users type P or A manually, they may mistype, which breaks the count. We need a fast, foolproof input method. The formulas later will count these automatically. So for that, select this whole attendance block under the dates like this. Go to data validation. In allow, select list, and in source type P, A, and then click OK. Now each cell here shows a small drop down with P and A for present and absent. Click it to choose P or A. This prevents typos and keep the sheet consistent. Now fill attendance row by row using the drop down. Fill till 18th Jan for each employee. I will use it to explain why I have done that in a moment. You can also copy paste values for repeating entries. Once you have filled the attendance row by row on the left, we will move to the right and build a salary calculation sheet with headers for presence, absence, total days of month, total payable days, basic salary, HRA, per day amount, provident fund, total amount, and finally net salary. Now type additions on top of HRA and deductions on top of Provident Fund. Now select this full range, go to Home and select all borders and do a bit of formatting so the headers stand out like this, and we will use US dollars as our currency symbol. Right, now we want to count presents and total P marks per employee and show total presents here in this column. For that, use the formula equals to count if open parenthesis. Now select this whole range F9 AJ9 comma, and now quotation mark, type P, close quotation mark and close parenthesis, and hit enter. Count if scans the employees row across the month range F to AJ in this workbook and returns how many cells are marked P. Now we want to count absence, the total A marks per employee, and show its total here in this column. Use the formula equals to count if open parenthesis, select this same range F9 through AJ9 comma, quotation mark, type A, close quotation mark, close parenthesis, hit enter. It's the same approach as for presents, but counting A entries to get the total absent days. Now we want to determine how many days are in the selected month. For that we will use formula equals to day, open parenthesis, and select this N5 cell, close parenthesis, and hit enter. Now open this formula and apply dollar signs. Hit F4 key on the keyboard. We want to apply dollar signs to fix the date cell as we will drag the formula down. So drag it down like this, and we will drag these formulas down as well. Right, now this is the important point here, for which I entered employee attendance till 18th January. Here for total payable days, if I just type formula equals to this total days of month minus absence and hit enter, you see I get 27 here, as we have 31 days in the month and 4 absence. And now if I drag this formula down, it gets us the result, but that method and result is wrong when attendance is only partially entered, as we can see here. The problem is it assumes the whole month is complete and can overstate payable days, but we must pay only for days actually recorded up to the employee's last entry and include only Sundays, the paid holidays that have passed by that same date. If you use total days of month minus absence and you haven't entered attendance for later dates yet, Excel will pretend the employees worked those missing days, leading to early or incorrect pay. So the correct formula to solve this problem is this. You can download it from the link given in the video description and paste it in AO9 here. Now what does this formula mean? We will start with if error. This simply means if there is no attendance entered in row 9, Excel will show 0 instead of giving an error. This part means find the last date where attendance was entered in row 9. On our sheet it gives January 18, 2025 because the last attendance mark was entered on that date. This tells Excel only count up to January 18. Ignore the rest of the month. This prevents future dates from counting automatically if we used that wrong formula, total days of month minus absence. This part creates a check for all the dates, true for every date up to January 18 and false after that. This creates another check marking one for every present day or Sunday, the paid holiday column. When we multiply these two checks, Excel keeps only the days that are both before or equal to January 18 and are either P or Sunday. Finally, sum product adds all those valid ones, giving the total payable days, 14 in our case. In this case, the lookup found January 18, and within those allowed dates, there are 12 present days and only 2 Sundays, so the total comes to 14. Now to make it super easy to understand, let's clear the first employee data, clear all marks till January 4, payable becomes 2, as out of 4 days attendance we have 2 presents and 2 absents, and no paid Sundays, the paid holidays. Now if I add A here on the 6th Jan, the formula's lookup moves the cutoff to January 6, and notice payable days become 3, as the formula automatically includes Sunday up to January 6. It does not include Sundays later in the month until they exist within the employee's recorded range. So the problem total days of the month minus absence is fixed by this formula because we use the employee's last recorded day as the real cutoff, guaranteeing accurate payable days and preventing premature pay. This ensures payroll only pays for days actually recorded so far, and it automatically adds paid Sundays only when they've passed on the employee's timeline. Now moving forward, we will enter each employee's monthly basic salary in the basic salary column. Now calculate HRA as 10% of basic salary. Use the formula equals to basic salary into 10% and hit enter. This formula multiplies the basic salary cell AP9 by 10% to produce HRA addition. Now drag this formula down, right? Next, compute per day salary rate. Formula is equals to basic salary divided by total days of month and hit enter. It divides the monthly's basic salary by the total days in the month to get salary per day. Now drag this formula down, right? Now calculate Provident Fund as 5% of basic salary. So use formula equals to basic salary into 5% and hit enter and drag this formula down, right? This formula multiplies the basic salary by 5% to produce PF deduction. Now compute the total payable amount for attendance days. Formula is equals to per day amount into total payable days and hit enter. This formula multiplies the per day rate by payable days to find the amount earned based on actual attendance. Now drag this formula down, right, and drag this formula down as well, right. Now we will calculate the net salary after adding HRA and subtracting Provident Fund. If we calculate net salary with a straight total amount plus HRA minus Provident Fund and drag it down. Excel may show salaries for rows where attendance wasn't entered yet. That makes your payroll look wrong and risks accidental payments. This formula, total amount plus HRA minus PF, works mathematically, but it doesn't check whether payable days exist. So the correct formula is, after equals to, type if, open parenthesis, this A09 cell equals to 0, then 0. Otherwise, we will use our total amount plus HRA minus Provident Fund formula. And now close parenthesis and hit enter. And now if we drag this formula down, you can see we are not getting payments for the attendance rows for which we have not entered any attendance yet. Right? This formula checks A09 first, that's our payable days. If A09 is equal to 0, if payable days are 0, then show 0 salary. If payable days are greater than 0, then compute total amount plus HRA minus Provident Fund. Right? This small if check prevents premature salary display and keeps payroll results accurate and professional. Now to add more employees, simply select this last whole range and drag down to copy the block to the desired number of rows, like this. And you see all of the formatting and formulas are also getting copied here. I will press Ctrl Z to go back. Right? Now open sheet 1 and type home here, and we will prepare sheet 1 as home page for quick month navigation. We will build month buttons on the home page for fast access. Now we will go to insert, shape, and I will select this rectangle shape and draw it over here. Click inside the shape and type Jan for January. Now increase the font size. Right? Now copy this January shape and paste it 11 times. Now rename the shape to each month. Right? Now hold Ctrl on the keyboard and select all the shapes. Then go to Format, Shape Fill to change the color. You can use Shape Effect to add shadows and other effects. This creates a neat row of month buttons for navigation. Now go to sheet 2, the January sheet. Now we want to place a home icon near the top left of this sheet. You can download a small home icon from the web or use Insert and Pictures. I have already downloaded an icon, so I will copy it here. Like this. I will increase the row height to 20. Right. Now right mouse click this icon, hyperlink, place in this document and choose home and then press OK. Now clicking this icon returns the user to the home page from any month. Now on the home sheet, type your company name and the sheet title and year, like this. This gives a professional title for the whole workbook and prints on reports. Do the same on your attendance sheet. Right? And for the salary calculation, type salary sheet here, like this. Right? Now create 11 more copies of this attendance sheet. Right mouse click here. Now move or copy. Move to the end and check box create a copy and press OK. Rename each copy to the month name, for example Feb, and so on, like this. Right? Now we have created attendance sheets for our 12 months. Now go back to home, sheet, and right mouse click the Jan shape, hyperlink, place in this document and click on Jan and press OK. Repeat the hyperlink step for all month shapes, linking each to its respective sheet. And finally for December, go to hyperlink, select December, click OK. Now click each button to confirm. It opens the correct month sheet. Right, and click on home page and it will take you to your home sheet. Now a single click takes you to the month you want. Right, now you can test navigation. Click each month button and home button, then open this February month and remove all these entries. And now test this presence and absence. In a new employee row and watch this formula update. Right? This proves everything links and calculates correctly. Now you have a neat home page with month shortcuts, linked month sheets, and a fully extendable attendance and salary system that's easy to use and navigate. You have just learned how to build a single workbook that creates month headers from sheet names, autofills date, weekdays, validates attendance input, highlights paid Sundays, and calculate accurate payable days up to the last entry, and produces net pay with HRA and PF, plus a home page for one-click navigation. If you want the free ready-made template, watch the full tutorial and then comment template below with your email. I will personally email the workbook to everyone who requires it. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more practical Excel for accounting tutorials from Learn Accounting Pro Studio. Thanks for watching, keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello viewers, stop guessing. Learn in minutes whether to accept or reject a project. Calculate IRR, NPV, and payback in Excel quickly and without mistakes. In this video, Learn Accounting Pro Studio will walk you step by step, and we will build a calculations sheet in which we will calculate IRR, compute NPV and prove it manually, then find the payback period. You can download the free Excel template of these calculations from the link in the video description. So let's start. I will now switch to a clean sheet with only project years and cash flows which I have pre-written, so we build everything step by step. Now we will start with the internal rate of return, the IRR. For that we will select this blank cell and type the IRR formula for the cash flow range. The formula is equals to IRR, open parenthesis, select this whole cash flow range, close parenthesis and hit enter. And there we have our internal rate of return percentage. IRR stands for internal rate of return. It is the annual rate that makes the net present value of these cash flows equal to 0. In plain words, IRR tells us the project's average yearly return. We include the year 0 negative number and all the later inflows in the same range. Hit enter and that's your project return based on these numbers. Now for NPV, make sure to type the discount rate. For example, I'm using 6% per annum discount rate here, right? And in this NPV cell, type formula equals to NPV, open parenthesis, select this discount rate, comma, and select cash inflows from year 1 till year 5 or whatever range of inflows you have in your example, close parenthesis, plus year 0 outflow. Hit enter and there we have our net present value, the NPV. NPV is net present value. It tells you in dollars whether the project creates value today after discounting future cash flows. Excel's NPV function discounts years 1 to n, so we add year 0 cash flow separately. With our 6% rate, this formula gives the present value result for the whole project, which is 44,410. Right? Now for NPV proof, we will do manual calculation and create a discount factor column and present value column like this. Now we will type the discount factor formula. For year 0 it will be 1. For year 1, type formula equals to, open parenthesis, 1.06, it's our discount rate, close parenthesis, raised to the power minus this A3 cell which says year 1. Hit enter and this is our discount factor for year 1. Now drag this formula down and there we have discount factor calculated for our whole project. This simple formula raises 1 plus rate, which is 6% per annum, to the negative year. For year 1 and 6%, this becomes 1.06 raised to the power minus 1. That's how we bring future money to today's value. Now present value formula is equals to cash flow multiplied by discount factor. And now copy and paste this formula over here, and you can see we have calculated our net present value manually, which is the same as our net present value that we have calculated through Excel function. This proves that the Excel NPV formula was used correctly. Now for payback period, we use the extra cumulative column. It shows how much of the initial investment is recovered each year. To create the cumulative column, we will use these steps. For year 0, it will be equals to this cash outflow. For year 1, type formula equals to C2 cell plus this B3 cell. And now copy this formula till here. Each row adds that year's cash to the running total, so you can see when the total reaches 0 or positive. Now use the payback period formula. We will use lookup function equal to lookup open parenthesis 0 comma this cumulative range comma open parenthesis this project years range minus open parenthesis again this cumulative range C2 till C7 divided by only the inflow range of B3 till B7. Now close parenthesis, hit enter, and there we have our payback period in years. The lookup asks Excel to find where the running total crosses 0. This middle argument prepares per row adjusted values that include the fractional year calculations. It essentially calculates an adjusted year value for each row. Year minus cumulative divided by that year's cash. When lookup finds the 0 crossing, it returns the matching adjusted year that gives us the payback period including the fractional year. For our example, the payback number tells you how many years until the 80,000 initial outlay is fully recovered by the yearly inflows of 22,000, 26,000 and so on. The payback here is 3.1. That means about 3 years and 1 month to recover the cost, as you can see from here as well. So you have just learned how to calculate IRR, validate NPV step by step, and compute payback period in Excel using clear, reliable formulas. If you found this video helpful, then hit like and subscribe to Learn Accounting Pro Studio. Thanks for watching, keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next one. Hello viewers, ever imagined sending hundreds of WhatsApp messages straight from Excel with each one personalized automatically? Let's make it happen. In this video, Learn Accounting Pro Studio will show you how to send customized WhatsApp messages directly from Microsoft Excel. This technique helps you send individual yet personalized WhatsApp messages to multiple recipients, ideal for reminders, invoices, or notifications. So let's start. Take a look at this Excel sheet. It contains a list of clients, their contact numbers, and the outstanding invoices each client has with our accounting firm. We will use formulas to build and send messages automatically for each client. In the first step, we'll create personalized text message in column E here. So in cell E3, type formula equals to double quotes, hi, space, double quotes, ampersand, select the cell containing name, ampersand, double quotes, comma, space, your invoice of, space, dollar or any currency that you're using, double quotes, ampersand, select the cell containing amount, the C3 cell, ampersand, double quotes, space, is still unpaid, period, space, kindly settle it at your earliest convenience, period, double quote, and hit enter. Now hi in this formula adds a greeting, ampersand B3 ampersand inserts the person's name or client's name from column B, your invoice of dollar ampersand cell C3 ampersand merges a message and the amount from column C, and this final sentence reminds them to make payment soon. Now copy this formula down to generate a custom message for each client automatically. You can see it's showing each client's name and their individual invoices. Next, we will generate clickable links that open WhatsApp chats with each recipient pre-filled with the custom message that we created here in column E. So in column F here, type formula equals to hyperlink, open parenthesis, double quotes, https :/2 times web.whatsapp.com /send phone equals to double quotes ampersand, select this cell containing phone number, ampersand, double quotes ampersand, text equals to double quote ampersand, select the cell containing the message, comma, double quote, send message, double quotes and close parenthesis, and hit enter. After pressing enter, Excel turns the cell blue, indicating a hyperlink has been created. Copy this formula down for all rows. Now open this formula. This part opens the WhatsApp web address. This part adds the recipient's phone number. This part links the personalized message text. And finally, send message here. This is the text displayed in the Excel as clickable hyperlink, like this here. Now click on any send message link. Your default browser opens WhatsApp web. Scan the QR code using WhatsApp on your mobile phone to connect. Once paired, messages can be sent instantly with a single click directly from Excel, like this. Right? A useful advantage of this method is that it works even if the phone number isn't saved in your contact list. Excel will still open WhatsApp for the number and display your message. This method can also be used for automated reminders about upcoming audit deadlines, tax submission due dates, or quarterly bookkeeping reviews. Just change the message content accordingly. If you want to send messages to all recipients with one click, Excel VBA can fully automate this. By linking your formulas to a macro button, Excel can trigger WhatsApp messages for everyone simultaneously. We will explore that VBA automation method in a separate video. And that's how you can send personalized WhatsApp messages straight from Excel without installing any extra tools. If you found this tutorial helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to Learn Accounting Pro Studio for more smart Excel automation tips like this one on sending WhatsApp messages. Thanks for watching, keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next one. Hello viewers, tired of typing the invoice number manually every time? Today Learn Accounting Pro Studio will show you a one-click method that updates your invoice number automatically. No formulas, no confusion. This video walks you through adding a next invoice button that instantly increases your invoice number using a tiny VBA code. Before we begin, the invoice template and the VBA code used in this lesson are already placed in the video description. You can download them and practice alongside the tutorial. So let's start. On your invoice template, decide which cell stores the invoice number. In this example, the invoice number is in cell H4. You can use any cell you want, the code will work the same. Now we want to add the next invoice button here. So for that, go to the Developer tab. If your Excel ribbon doesn't show the Developer tab, right mouse click anywhere in the ribbon, then select Customize the ribbon, tick the Developer checkbox if not already checked, press OK, This unlocks the tools needed to add a functional button. Now let's add a button that will trigger the automatic update. Go to the Developer tab, click Insert, select Button Form Control, draw the button anywhere near your invoice, like this. A window will appear asking for a macro. Click New. Excel will now open the VBA editor. Inside the code window, clear this and paste this code, which you can get from the link in the video description. Then close the VBA editor. Now right mouse click the button, click on Assign Macro. This window will open again, and from here select the next invoice macro and then OK. What this does is, every time the button runs, Excel looks at H4, converts the value to a number and adds +1. That's your new invoice number. Now rename this button to Next Invoice. For that, right mouse click, select Edit Text and rename it to Next Invoice, like this. Now you have a working button. Now let's test the automation. Click Next Invoice. If H4 was 0, it becomes 1. Click again, 2. Click again, 3. This replaces manual typing and reduces typing mistakes. Now you can adjust the alignment of this. Let's middle align it. To keep the macro working, Excel requires the file to be saved in a macro enabled format. For that, go to File, Save As. Now choose the current folder and from this list choose Excel macro enabled workbook and then save. If you save in regular XLSX format, the button and VBA code will not run. This method is perfect for business invoices, freelancers billing their clients, service companies, and anyone who wants error-free invoice numbering. The button eliminates duplicate invoice numbers, one of the most common accounting frustrations. Your invoice number can now update itself with a single click. No formulas, no hassle. Hit subscribe and like if you want more Excel automation tutorials just like this one. Thanks for watching, keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next one.
Hello viewers, have you ever wondered why the balance in your company's bank book doesn't match what the bank says in their statement? It's not magic, it's timing, checks in transit, bank charges, and lots of little hiccups. Today we are going to unlock that mystery with a simple but powerful tool, the bank reconciliation statement. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to build one in Excel, spot the differences, and keep your bank records clean and accurate. So let's start. We have here a bank book, your internal company record, a bank statement, the bank's record. But we will start with preparing a clear and professional bank reconciliation statement that adjusts both the bank book and the bank statement sides and shows why they don't match, as you can see here. Alright, this is our working sheet for bank reconciliation statement. We start by placing the company name, then report name, and then the period and date. Now let's bold them like this. Once that's set, we move to the main body. Now in row 5, type the headers. Description in column A, date in column E, check number in column G, and finally amount USD in column I. Now do a bit of formatting. Let's bold these. and fill color the headers and apply bottom border and top border and set the alignment of these like this. And now adjust the width of columns F and H, Alt H O W to 1 and press OK like this. Right? Now in row 7 type closing balance as per general ledger bank book. That is our starting point. This is what our internal records believe is in the bank at month end. Now in row 8 here, type items in bank statement but not in bank book. Let's bold this. And here we list the items that the bank knows about but we haven't recorded in our books yet. Things like bank charges, dishonored or bounced checks, and interest received. These are typically bank side entries we forgot or didn't know yet. That's why they appear on the bank statement but are missing from our ledger. We adjust those under this heading. After noting these bank side items, we calculate a corrected bank book balance. So type this in row 15 and bold it. This shows what our book balance would be if we included all the bank's transactions that we missed. Right? Now we flip the logic. We find items we recorded internally in our bank book that the bank has not processed yet, typically checks issued or deposits awaiting clearance. These cause timing differences. We list them under this heading in row 17. Items in bank book but not in bank statement. Within this, there are two subsections. In row 18, type less outstanding lodgements. These are deposits or checks we received and recorded internally, but bank hasn't credited them yet. Since bank doesn't know about them yet, they are outstanding lodgements, so leave a few rows to list them under this heading. Now in row 23, type add unpresented checks. These are payments or checks we issued and already recorded in our bank book, but beneficiaries haven't cashed or presented them to the bank yet. So the bank's statement doesn't show them. We list them here as unpresented checks. Finally, after all adjustments, the bottom line should match the balance shown on the bank statement. That final figure goes here in row 30. So type closing balance as per bank statement and bold it. If everything's correct, this number equals the actual balance from the bank statement. So what we are effectively doing is that we are starting with the closing balance of our bank book ledger balance and reconciling it with the bank statement closing balance. Now we will take a look at the two source documents. I have merged both these documents in one sheet here so we can easily spot the differences. Here is the company's bank book to the left side for November 2025. This is maintained internally and records everything we believe has happened in our bank account. Notice here opening balance is the same as the bank statement. Receipts and payments recorded day to day. Kept simple here for teaching purposes. In practice, the number of transactions may vary. Now this is the bank statement to the right side. It shows what the bank says has actually been processed. Notice same opening balance as the bank book, daily deposits and withdrawals, bank side entries such as bank charges and profit for the month. Now let's take a look at what matches in these both documents and what doesn't. and start filling in our bank reconciliation statement. Notice until 18th November, both books are perfectly aligned. Opening balances are the same, and all transactions and running totals match. Now the real work begins. Let's scan both the bank book and bank statement after 18th November. That's where the differences start appearing. Difference 1. Outstanding lodgement. Transaction is customer B amount deposited USD 600 on 26th November. Bank book shows it as receipt here. Bank statement does not show the amount yet. Reason: this is a classic timing difference. You deposited the check, but the bank hasn't cleared it. Outstanding lodgement means amount received and recorded in the bank book, but not yet credited by the bank. This goes to the bank reconciliation statement section, item in bank book, but not in bank statement. Outstanding lodgements. So type received from customer B, then date. But before that, what I will do is I will go to view and freeze these panes. So when we scroll down, the headers are visible like this, right? Now let's type in the date and let's change the format. Control 1, go to the date section and select your desired date format, right? Then type in the check number. Check number is 1254501 and the amount 600 USD. Now let's scan for difference number 2. Notice transaction on 27th November, customer C amount deposited USD is 800, bank book recorded as a receipt, and bank statement check is dishonored, returned as unpaid on 29 November 2025. The reason: the company didn't know the check bounced until it saw the bank statement at month end. Dishonored check means a deposited check reversed by the bank because payment could not be collected. This goes to the bank reconciliation statement section, item in bank statement but not in bank book, dishonored checks. So include it here and press F2 and type customer C, date, copy the format here. It's 27 November. Check number is 1254502 and amount is 800 USD. But remember to type it as a negative figure, right? Because the bank reduced your balance, but your bank book still shows it as a receipt. Now let's scan the bank book and bank statement again. For difference number 3, unpresented checks. Notice here we have issued 3 checks. These 3 payments were recorded in the bank book but not yet cleared by the bank. Reason: you issued the checks, but the suppliers have not yet presented them to their banks for clearing. Unpresented checks means payments recorded in the bank book but not yet debited by the bank. This goes to the bank reconciliation statement section, items in bank book but not in bank statement, under unpresented checks section, and type these 3 payments along with their details here like this and type in their amounts as positive figures, right? Now difference number 4, the bank side entries that are not in bank book. On November 30, the bank did 2 things. Bank charges of USD 950 and it credited profit of USD 100. These appear only in bank statement, not in bank book. These go to the items in bank statement but not in bank book adjustment section. So include against their respective rows bank charges as a negative figure of USD 950 and interest received as a positive figure of USD 100, as this is an income. Now let's enter the closing balance as per bank book of USD 2625 here, as shown in the bank book here. So type it 625, and now let's type in the formulas for our final calculations, starting with equal to sum open parenthesis and select these three adjustments, close parenthesis, and hit enter, and we get this negative 1650 adjustment figure here. And now for our corrected bank book balance here, type in formula equal to the closing balance as per bank book plus these adjustments and hit enter. Right, coming down to this section, we will sum these two rows equal to sum open parenthesis, select this, close parenthesis, hit enter, and same with this. Hit enter. Right, and finally for closing balance as per bank statement, type formula equal to and scroll up, select this corrected bank book balance minus lodgements and plus these unpresented checks and hit enter. Now we will do a bit of formatting. Select this whole range, comma separator, outside border here as well, and here. And select this formatting for these and this one and bold it. Right, now let's check the bank statement's closing balance. If the bank statement also shows USD 4350 as shown here, then the reconciliation is perfect. See the magic? After applying all the timing differences and adjustments, your bank book and bank statement now match perfectly. And that's the power of a proper bank reconciliation statement. So that's it for today. Your secret weapon to bridge the gap between what your bank says and what your book says. If you get it right, your bank records stay accurate and you stay ready for audits or financial reports. If you found this tutorial helpful, hit like and subscribe to Learn Accounting Pro Studio. Thanks for watching, keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next one. Hello viewers, are you tired of manually scanning two lists or sheets looking for missing entries? In this video, Learn Accounting Pro Studio will show you a step-by-step Excel method using VLOOKUP and conditional formatting that instantly identifies which suppliers are missing from your second list, and it works even if your data isn't perfectly aligned. You can download the free Excel template from the video description to follow along step by step. So let's start. Before we begin with formulas, let's look at the two sheets we'll be working with. On sheet 1, we have a master list of 50 suppliers. On sheet 2, we have the exact same list, but 4 suppliers have been deleted at random. So you can notice here in sheet 1, we have a total of 51 entries, and in sheet 2, we have 47. So yes, 4 are missing. This simulates a partial list like those you might get from another department or branch of your organization. Our goal is to figure out which suppliers in sheet 1 do not appear in sheet 2. Let's now head to supplier 1 sheet and select supplier 2 right beside your first supplier, this is where we will write our first VLOOKUP formula. So type equals to VLOOKUP open bracket. Here we are telling Excel we want it to look up a value in another list. Now Excel asks, what value do you want to look up? We click A2, which contains supplier ID, which we can use to check if Jackson is in the other supplier list as well, comma. Next, Excel asks table array. Where is the table you want to check against for Jackson? We switch over to sheet 2, then highlight the supplier list from A2 down to D47. This highlights sheet 2's range. Now we want to freeze this range so it stays the same when we copy the formula down the rows. To do that, we press F4 on the keyboard, which adds dollar signs and makes it an absolute reference. It becomes something like this. Now comma. Next, Excel asks which column or information do we want to return from this table. Since we only want to see whether the ID exists for that supplier in sheet 2 or not, we can choose column 1. So type 1 here, the same ID column. Now comma. Finally, Excel asks, should it look for an exact match or an approximate? We want a precise match, an exact supplier ID, so we type false here, close bracket, and hit enter. Now double click here to copy this formula down the column. Here you will see if the supplier exists in sheet 2, Excel returns the same ID. If the supplier is not in sheet 2, Excel shows this #NA error. So now when I scroll down, notice that it's returning NA error for all the missing suppliers. That's useful, but raw errors aren't friendly or easy to read and doesn't look professional. So let's make this more informative. Click back in E2 and let's add another function to it. We move our cursor to the beginning of the formula and type ISNA, open bracket. Then we keep the exact same VLOOKUP we had before and then close this with a bracket, hit enter, and now double click this down the column. Here's what this does. If VLOOKUP finds the supplier in sheet 2, ISNA returns false. If VLOOKUP produces #NA error, meaning it didn't find the supplier in sheet 2, ISNA returns true. So true means this supplier is missing from sheet 2. That makes it much easier to spot missing entries than raw errors. Showing true or false is better, but it's still hard to read and spot the missing suppliers. So we are going to make it extremely easy for us to identify the missing entries. Now click back in E2 cell again, and this time we wrap everything inside an if function. So at the start of the formula, type if open bracket. Now what do we want to check? The result of the ISNA formula. So we keep the entire function as it is. This becomes the logical test of our if function. Now here type comma. Now we add the value if the result is true. We want Excel to say not found, so type that in quotation marks here like this, then a comma. And since we don't want to show anything if supplier was found, we add 2 quotation marks with nothing between. Close bracket, hit enter, and copy this down the column. Now instead of seeing true, false, or a #NA, you see not found for suppliers not in sheet 2, and blank for suppliers that are present on both lists. This gives clear meaning at a glance. No confusion. Next, we will give visual emphasis to missing records using Excel's conditional formatting. First, we will copy the formula in E2, starting with ISNA till here. Now select the whole supplier list on sheet 1 from A2 down to D51. Go to Home, Conditional Formatting, New Rule, and use a formula to determine which cells to format. Here we use the same logic we used in the if formula. In the rule box, paste this formula. Now there is one last adjustment we will do to this formula because it's not going to get us the result that we want. As I have selected the entire table range, all 4 columns, and all 51 rows, this formula isn't quite ready yet. If I left it like this, Excel wouldn't know how to check each row properly as it applies the formatting. The trick we need here is to fix the column reference so that Excel always looks at the supplier ID column. That's column A, no matter which cell in the row it's coloring. So I'm going to add a dollar sign before A here, like this. Let me explain why we do that in simple terms. The dollar sign before the column letter A tells Excel always look in column A for the supplier ID. We don't put the dollar sign before the row number 2 because we want the row to change as Excel moves down the list. If we had put the dollar sign in front of both, like $A and $2, Excel would only ever check the ID in one single row, and every row in your list would end up being compared against just that one ID. That would break the rule. So by using $A2, we log the column but keep the row relative. That way, for row 2, Excel checks A2. For row 3, it checks A3. For row 4, it checks A4, and so on. Exactly what we want. In short, $A2 means always look in column A, but let the row number adjust for each row. That's how conditional formatting directly highlights every missing supplier across the whole table. Next, click on Format, choose a fill color, and in Font, select Bold, and hit OK, and then OK again. Now select this whole range again, and go back to conditional formatting, Manage Rule, and remove the quotation marks from here and here. Now click OK, and OK again. Now all the rows where the supplier is missing from sheet 2 will light up visually. This is great where your list is wide or long. The eye catches the color before the brain reads the text. Now some extra pro tips. If your supplier or any of the lists grow over time and have hundreds of entries, go to Data tab and apply Filter. And now you can filter by fill color, or even you can filter by not found, like this, to extract missing suppliers quickly for reports or audits. That's a full walkthrough of comparing two lists using VLOOKUP and conditional formatting, a handy tool for accountants, data analysts, and spreadsheet pros alike. So give it a try. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new Excel tutorial from Learn Accounting Pro Studio. Thanks for watching, keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next one. Hello friends! Today Learn Accounting Pro Studio will show you how to create a fully automated professional bill template in MS Excel, complete with company headers, itemized entries, automatic GST calculations, and totals for each row. The best part, you can download the free template from the link in the video description and start billing instantly. So let's start. We begin with a fresh worksheet where a basic bill layout is already planned. The same structure is now rebuilt step by step so you can understand both the design and the math behind it. First, the top row's first 7 cells are selected from column A through to column G. From the Home tab, Merge and Center is applied, so these cells become one wide heading. This merge cell is used to type the company name. Right? Just below that, the next row is selected and merged in the same way, like this. This space is reserved for company address. So type it here. Right? In the third row, again, 7 cells are selected and merged. Here the title Bill Invoice is entered to clearly identify the document as a bill. Below the title area, the individual column labels are typed one by one. The first cell is used for bill number. Next comes item description, then unit price USD, quantity, amount excluding tax, GST, 18% or whatever rate that is applicable in your region, and finally amount including tax. At this point, the basic structure of the bill is complete. Now the company name row is selected and its font size is increased to 14 and bold, so it stands out. Next, bold company address. The bill invoice is then selected, made bold, and its font size increased to 14. Right? Next, the entire billing area is selected, starting from company header and extending down as far as needed for your invoice. Here I will select up to row 16. From the borders option, all borders is applied, so every cell is clearly separated. Now select these column headings and make them bold and center align. Right? Now double click here to extend the column width. Now finally, fill color the company name and the bill invoice row and change the font color to white. And now select this whole range of headers and fill color to a slightly lighter shade to improve readability. Right? Now the data entry begins. Here in cell A5, a bill number is typed. So type bill number, whatever bill number you have. The item name is entered next. For example, LED light bulb. The unit price and quantity are entered for that item. So enter 6 and 10 as our example. The same method is repeated for all the remaining rows until all items are entered. For demonstration, the remaining entries are filled quickly, ending with the last item row. Like this, right? To compute the amount excluding tax for the first item, the calculation starts in column E, here in cell E5. So we will enter formula equals to unit price multiplied by quantity and hit enter. This multiplies the unit price by the quantity to calculate the total value excluding tax for that line item. The same formula is applied to all other rows using drag and drop, instantly calculating amounts for every item, like this, right? Now we calculate GST for the first item in column F. Now enter formula equals to round, open parenthesis, this E5 cell multiplied by 18%, comma, 0, close parenthesis, and hit enter. This multiplies the item amount, excluding tax, by 18% or whatever tax rates applicable in your region and rounds the result to the nearest whole number. After pressing enter, the GST for the first item appears. Now we drag down to copy this formula for all items in column F down to row 16 here. Each row will automatically calculate the correct GST for that item. Next, we calculate the total amount including tax in column G. So now here we will type formula equals to amount excluding tax plus GST and hit enter. This adds the original amount in E5 and the GST in F5 to get the final amount including tax. Now we will drag this formula down all the way to row 16. Now column G shows the total amount including GST for each item. This method calculates tax and total per row, making your bill precise and ready for summing up later. Now to total all item amounts, first type grand total at the bottom of column C here. Now for quantity total, type formula equals to sum, open parenthesis, and select the whole range, close parenthesis, and hit enter. Here we get the total sum of our quantity. Now we will copy this formula for all the remaining columns. And now we will do a bit of formatting. Bold these, go to borders, and select this top and bottom double border like this. So there you have it. You have a ready to use billing system in Excel with row wise GST, total amounts, and a clean professional layout. Don't forget to grab your free template from the description and start creating bills effortlessly today. Hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Excel automation tips and tutorials. Thanks for watching, keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next one. Hello friends! What if your Excel payment voucher could work like real accounting software? So before we start building anything, let me quickly show you what this payment voucher can actually do. I'm selecting bank in payment mode here. Then I will select office supplies account. In debit column, I will enter 450 USD. And now watch this. The moment I select bank account, Excel automatically posts the credit amount, balances the voucher, and calculates the totals without me writing a single credit formula. With one click, this voucher is saved as a PDF, as you can see in this folder. It's nice and clean PDF format, and the voucher number increases automatically, and the complete entry is recorded in a voucher log here, just like accounting software. And you can download this free professional template from the link in the video description. So let's start. Let's begin with a completely blank workbook. Create 3 worksheets and rename them exactly as follows. First one is voucher template. Second one is chart of accounts. And finally, third one is voucher log, like this, right? These 3 sheets will work together: the voucher for entry, the chart of accounts for control, and the voucher log for history. Now go back to voucher template sheet. In cell B2 here, type your company name. Now select cells B through cell F and merge and center. Now increase font size to 16. and bold. In cell B3, type company address and select cells B through F, merge and center, and bold. Now in cell B5, type payment voucher. Again select cells B through F, merge and center, increase font size to 14, and bold. And now apply thick bottom border like this, right? Now in cell B7 here, type voucher number. In cell C7, we will later apply the voucher number formula. Now in cell B8, type voucher date. In cell C8, we will apply the date formula. Now in cell B9, type narration. In cell C9, this will be manual entry relating to payment details. Now in cell E7 here, type payment mode. In cell F7, we will create a drop down later. In cell C8, type paid to. In cell F8, payee name will be typed. Now let's increase the column width by double clicking here, right? Now we will create the voucher entry table. Starting from row 11, in cell B11, type serial number, then account code, account name, debit USD and credit USD or the currency of your region. These columns reflect real bookkeeping logic used in accounting software. So now let's do a bit of formatting, middle align them and bold them. And now let's increase the column width, right? Now let's apply fill color like this. Now entry rows for this voucher template will start from row 12 to row 19. You can select as many rows as per your requirement. Row 20 will be the total row. So in cell D20 here, we will type total and bold it. Leave rows 12 to 19 empty for transaction entry. Now before setting the print area, let's add a proper footer section for authorization and internal control, just like professional accounting vouchers. In cell B23 here, type prepared by, make the text bold, and apply bottom border to the cell. In cell D23, type checked by and make the text bold and apply bottom border. Now finally in cell F23, type approved by, make the text bold and apply bottom border. Right? This footer creates clear responsibility and approval flow. When the voucher is printed or saved as PDF, it is ready for signatures and audit verification. Now we will set print area. This ensures the voucher prints cleanly as a single document. Select cells B2 to F25 here. Go to page layout and click on print area and set print area. Here you can see it prints as one single clean and professional sheet. Now we will move on to chart of accounts sheet. In cell A1, type account code, then account name, and finally account type, and make them bold and increase the column width. Now middle align them and let's color it yellow. Right? Now enter your accounts details, as I have entered a sample accounts details here. In practice, you can enter chart of account details relating to your actual company here. Now we will move on to voucher log sheet and create headers starting from row 1. In A1, type voucher number, then voucher date, pay, debit, credit, payment mode, and in column G here, finally, last payment voucher number. Now in cell G2 here, type 0. This cell works silently in the background to generate automatic voucher numbers in the voucher template, just like in accounting software. Because column G is only for automation, we will hide it later by selecting column G like this, right mouse click and hide it. But not right now, so I will press Ctrl Z and undo it, as we need it for automation. Now let's format our headers here like this, right? Now the real automation starts. Go back to voucher template. In cell C7 here, type formula equals to quotation marks PV dash quotation marks close ampersand text open parenthesis. Now go to voucher log sheet and select this cell G2 plus 1 comma quotation marks, and now type 4 zeros quotation marks close parenthesis and hit enter. So what this formula does is PV, this is simple text. It ensures that every voucher number clearly starts with PV, so we immediately know this is a payment voucher. Then I use the symbol ampersand. In Excel, the ampersand joins text with numbers or formulas. Next, the text function, and here we refer to voucher log G2. This cell stores the last voucher number used. We add +1, so Excel always prepares the next voucher number automatically. Now 4 zeros, this format forces Excel to show the number as 4 digits, like 0001, 0002, 0003, which looks professional and software-like. So when everything is combined, Excel produces vouchers number like PV 0001 or PV 0002 and so on, without any manual effort. Now in cell C8, type formula equals to today, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, and hit enter. And now press Ctrl 1 on the keyboard and select your desired date format and hit enter. Right? This voucher date updates automatically whenever you open this template file. Now in cell F7 here, go to data validation, choose list, and in source type cash, bank, and press OK. This ensures clean and controlled data entry. So we can select cash or bank from this drop-down menu. Now in cell B12 here, we will type serial number formula. So type formula equals to if open parenthesis this C12 cell is equal to double quotes, then double quotes, comma, row, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, minus 11, close parenthesis, and hit enter. Now drag this formula down to cell B19 like this. This formula automates the serial number column. First, Excel checks whether C12, which contains the account code, is empty. If there is no entry, the formula returns a blank result. This keeps the voucher clean. So if, for example, there is entry here, Excel calculates the row number using this row formula and subtracts 11, so the serial number starts from 1. If we don't use this if condition and simply drag the formula down, so if I remove this and drag it down, Excel would show serial numbers even when no data is entered, which looks untidy. This small logic makes the voucher behave like accounting software. So now I will press Ctrl Z again right? Now select cells D12 to D19, go to data, data validation, and select list. And now in source, go to this chart of account sheet and select B2 through B8 range and hit enter and press OK. This creates a drop-down for error-free account selection that we have created in our chart of accounts, as you can see here, right? Now in cell C12 here, type formula equals to if open parenthesis this D12 cell is equals to double quotes, comma, double quotes, comma, if error, open parenthesis, look up, open parenthesis again, 2, comma, 1, forward slash, open parenthesis, go to this chart of accounts sheet and select column B equals to, go back to voucher template and type D12, close parenthesis, comma, now go to chart of accounts again, select this column A, close parenthesis, comma, double quotes, close parenthesis and close parenthesis again, and hit enter. Now we will drag this formula down to row 19. This formula automatically fetches the account code when I select an account name. So I will select an account name here, and there you can see we get our account code and serial number. Now in cell E20 here, we will type formula equals to sum, open parenthesis, and we will select this range, close parenthesis, and hit enter. And now copy this formula and paste it here, right? Now we will do a bit of formatting. Go to home and select this comma style, and now go to borders and select this top and double bottom border, right? Now we automate everything with one professional button. Go to developer tab. If you don't see developer tab in your Excel, then right click anywhere in the ribbon, customize the ribbon, and check the developer box here if not already checked, and then press OK. Now in developer tab, click insert and select button form control. Draw the button near the voucher header like this and press OK. Now rename the button text to save and next voucher. Now right mouse click and click on assign macro. Now click new. This window will appear. Now paste the save and next voucher code. The VBA code is provided in the video description for easy copy and paste. So copy this code and paste it here and then close the window. Now right mouse click again and click on assign this macro and select this save and next voucher code and press OK. This single button will save the voucher, create a PDF, log the entry, increase the voucher number, and prepare a clean new voucher just like your standard accounting software. Now we will use the VBA code that automates the credit entry here completely. You do not need to write any credit formulas. So when I finish entering all debit expenses and then select cash or bank in the next available row, Excel will automatically calculate the total debit amount and place it in the credit column. This works for any row 13, row 14, row 15, wherever the debit entries stop. To enter the VBA code, which is provided in video description, from the Developer tab, go to Visual Basic. In the left panel here, double-click the voucher template and paste the VBA code provided in the video description. So copy this VBA code and paste it here, and now close the window. This code listens to changes in the account name column and reacts instantly, just like accounting software. You enter expenses on the debit side, then select cash or bank. Immediately after the last expense, Excel automatically balances the credit side and totals both columns. This is exactly how professional accounting software behaves. Now let's test everything with real data so you can clearly see how this voucher works. Now in cell F7 here, we will select bank, and in F8 we will type ABC office supplies. In cell D12 we will select office supplies expense and enter 450 USD in E12. Now in cell D13 select bank account. Notice how Excel automatically places the total debit amount in the credit. The debit and credit totals match perfectly. Click Save and Next Voucher. Excel saves the voucher, creates a PDF, updates the voucher log, and prepares a fresh voucher instantly with a new voucher number. Now as you can see, new voucher number appears automatically. In cell F7, select cash, and in cell F8, type local services and enter any three expenses. So for example, I will enter internet and communication, utilities, and travel expense, and we will enter their amount. Right now I will select cash account below the last debit entry. Again, Excel balances the voucher automatically. Now press Save and Next Voucher. You have a new voucher ready. Now open voucher log sheet. You can see both vouchers saved with voucher number, date, payee details, debit and credit totals, and payment mode. Now let's open the saved PDFs. You can see this is a clean, printable accounting document ready for audit and record keeping. So today you've seen how to build a complete automatic payment voucher in Excel, from a clean professional layout to smart automation that handles voucher numbering, debit and credit balancing, PDF saving, and voucher history exactly like accounting software. If you want to practice this system yourself, download the free payment voucher template from the link in the video description. And if this tutorial helped you understand real-world Excel accounting, hit like and subscribe to Learn Accounting Pro Studio for more practical systems you can actually use at work or in business. Thanks for watching, keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next one. Hello friends, in this Excel tutorial you will see something very practical. You will learn how to create a fully automatic and dynamic barcode system in Excel that updates instantly and which will be recognized by any barcode scanner. So we have here item names and their universal product codes. Now watch this closely. I'm going to change just the first two digits of the UPC, and look at that. The barcode updates immediately. No refresh, no redo, no manual work. This is business ready, practical, and something you can start using today. So make sure you subscribe to Learn Accounting Pro Studio and hit the bell icon to never miss practical Excel tutorials that actually save time and money. So let's start. On the Excel worksheet, three columns are prepared. One column is for the product or item name, the second holds the UPC number, and the third is reserved for the barcode output. The barcode will be generated directly from the UPC value, so no manual drawing is involved. Before building any barcode, the UPC values must be treated as text. So select all the UPC cells, go to the Home tab, and open this number format dialog from the number group. From the list, choose text and confirm by clicking OK. We set the UPC codes as text so Excel doesn't fix them like numbers and accidentally break the codes that begin with 0. Now comes the core step, creating the barcode pattern using a formula in the barcode column. In the barcode column, enter the formula that wraps the UPC code with special characters required by the barcode font. So type formula equals to double quotes steric, then double quotes ampersand. Now select this B2 cell, ampersand, now double quotes steric and double quote, and hit enter. This formula adds an asterisk before and after the UPC value, which acts like a start and stop signal so barcode scanners can read it properly. Once the formula works for one row, drag it down using autofill like this. This instantly applies the same logic to every item, saving time and keeping everything consistent. At this stage, the values still look like text. So first, I will select these rows and increase the row height like this. Now to transform them visually, I will select the barcode cells, then go to the font group on the ribbon and scroll through the font list and apply this barcode font. The moment you do this, the text turns into a machine-readable barcode. Here it's important to point out that this barcode style does not come pre-installed with Windows or Excel. You must download it separately from the internet. The download link is shared in the video description for convenience. So to download it, open Google Chrome and type dafont.com in the address bar. Once the site loads, find the barcode category and click on it. You will see many barcode fonts listed here. From the available options, select CIA code 39, which is the font used in this demonstration. Click the download button on the right side to start downloading the font file. After the download finishes, open the folder, right-click the zip file and choose Extract here. This unpacks the font so it can be installed. Right-click the extracted font file and select Copy. Then open Local Disk C. Go to Windows folder and open the font folder and paste the font here, like this. Once pasted, Windows installs it automatically. Now return to Excel and open the font drop-down menu. You will see the newly installed barcode font listed. Select it and Excel instantly renders your UPC values as barcodes. This barcode system is fully dynamic. If you change any UPC value, the barcode updates instantly without rewriting formula or reapplying fonts. This makes it perfect for inventory system and product lists. Let's test the automation by changing one UPC code and immediately seeing the barcode update. The same happens with another UPC, so I will change it, proving the setup is fully automatic. This entire method is simple, efficient, and ideal for anyone who wants to generate barcodes directly inside Excel without external software. I have pinned a comment below asking how you would use this Excel barcode system in your own work or business. Go drop your answer there And if enough of you ask for it, I'll make the next video on barcode-based inventory tracking in Excel. So that's how you can easily create automatic barcodes in Excel. And if this barcode tutorial helped you, subscribe to Learn Accounting Pro Studio and hit the bell icon so you can never miss our Excel and accounting lessons. Thanks for watching, keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next one. Hello friends! If an Excel interview started right now, could you clear it? Today we will walk through 4 progressively harder Excel interview questions including decision making, optimization, and advanced lookups. You can also download this interview test Excel for free from the video description and practice along. So let's start. The hiring manager starts with a warm-up task. The requirement is simple. Highlight in red the 10 lowest sales quantities in a list. Instead of manually sorting or scanning the data, the fastest approach is to use conditional formatting. First, select the entire column containing unit quantities. A quick way is clicking the first value and pressing Ctrl, Shift and down arrow to grab everything. Next, head to conditional formatting, choose top bottom rules, and from here, select bottom 10 items. Excel automatically highlights the lowest values. You can adjust the number if needed, but in this case, leaving it at 10 does the job perfectly. Once applied, the 10 smallest figures immediately stands out in red, making the data easy to review at a glance. That checks out exactly as expected, so we have passed question 1 and it's time to level up to the next challenge. Now the hiring manager wants to see how you handle decision making in Excel. The task is to fill gray area here and decide using a formula that can be copied down whether to accept or reject a supplier based on maximum requirements. The two requirements are mentioned here. The quoted price must be less than or equal to the maximum allowed price, and the delivery time must be less than or equal to the maximum allowed delivery days. If both conditions are met, accept the supplier. If even one condition fails, reject the supplier. So start in cell E5 here, the decision column. We'll use an if function because we want Excel to return one of two outcomes, either accept or reject. So type equals to if and open the bracket. Now this decision depends on two conditions. So inside if we will use the AND function, open parenthesis. Now the first condition checks price. The quoted price is in cell C5. So select this cell and it must be less than or equal to the maximum price in H5 here. Now we will lock this H5 cell and press F4 key on the keyboard so the rule doesn't move when the formula is copied down, comma. The second condition checks delivery time. Delivery days are in cell D5 here and they must be less than or equal to the limit in cell H6 here. Again, we will lock this H6 cell and press F4 key on the keyboard. Now close the AND function with the bracket, comma. Next, if both conditions are true, return accept. So type it in double quotes here, open double quotes, accept and close double quotes, comma. If not, return reject, double quotes and type reject, double quotes close. Now close the formula and press enter. Once that works, copy the formula down to apply the same logic to all suppliers. A quick review confirms the logic works correctly. It says to reject supplier B here as the quoted price is above the maximum price requirement even though the delivery days are within acceptable limit, and it says to accept this supplier A here as both the price and the days are within the acceptable limits. Perfect. The hiring manager reviews the decision and everything checks out. Now the interview shifts into optimization problem territory. The manager wants to know how many bottles must be sold to earn exactly 8,000 in profit. The assumptions are already laid out. The selling price per bottle is 44.95. The variable cost per bottle is 17.95 and our fixed cost is $22,000. Below I have built a simple profitability model. Units sold is our changing input. Revenue is calculated by multiplying units sold with the selling price. Variable cost is units sold multiplied by variable cost per unit. Fixed cost stays constant and profit is simply revenue minus total costs. So a sum of these as the costs are mentioned as negative figures. So down here in red, we have the indicator that says to change the units to reach 8,000 in profit. So depending on what quantity we sell, the profit below is going to be affected. So let's say if I enter 1,000 here, you can see that the profit is 5,000. But as the hiring manager's requirement is very clear, we want exactly 8,000 in profit. Instead of guessing values manually, Excel's Goal Seek tool is the smart choice. From the Data tab, open What If Analysis, then select Goal Seek. Now a pop-up will open and here it says which cell you want to set. So we want to set the profit cell here to exactly 8,000 by changing the cell. So this is the dynamic unit sold cell that we want to change and then just click OK. And now see the magic. We get the profit exactly as 8,000. Excel calculates a precise result, but the answer includes a decimal value. Since selling partial units is unrealistic, the value must be rounded up. So we will type formula equals to round up, hit the tab key and comma and 0, close parenthesis and hit enter. This rounds the calculated quantity up to the nearest whole number, ensuring the profit target is reached or exceeded. The final answer gives a clean, realistic unit count that management can actually work with. Another green check from the hiring manager, and that completes question number 3. This final question tests both formula knowledge and flexibility. The goal is to use two different formulas to find the revenue for Germany in each month. Let's start with the first method, and as a hiring manager, this is the formula I expect almost every strong Excel user to know. We want to add up revenue not only when two conditions are met. The country must be Germany, the month must match the column header here. So we will start with the SUMIFS function equals to SUMIFS, open parenthesis. First, Excel asks for the sum range. That's the revenue column because that's what we want to total. So select this range. Now press the F4 key. So when we drag the formula, it's not going to move, comma. Next we define the first criteria range, which is the country column, and select this range here. Press F4 key again, comma, and the criteria number 1 is Germany. So we will select it here. Now press F4 key 3 times so that the dollar sign is only on the column, so it's going to stay fixed, comma. Then we will add the second criteria range, which is the date column. So we will select this range. Now press F4 key, comma, and the criteria number 2 is the month shown at the top, for example January 2026, and this we will not log as we want to be able to move across. Now close parenthesis and hit enter. Once I press enter, Excel returns the total revenue for Germany for that specific month. Now simply drag the formula across and Excel automatically calculates Germany's revenue for February 26 and March 26. This approach is powerful because it dynamically scans the entire dataset and sums only the rows that match our conditions. Perfect. That's the first part done, and now we need to solve it with the second formula, and that is where it gets a bit trickier. Here, you are probably thinking of doing an index match or maybe an XLOOKUP. So let's give that a try. Now for our second solution, instead of some ifs or XLOOKUP, we will use a classic index and match combination, which works perfectly even in older versions of Excel. We will start with index function because index simply returns a value from a specific row. So type equals to index, open parenthesis, and select this revenue range. Press F4 key, comma. This range contains our revenue figures, and from here we want Excel to return the correct revenue value. Now the question is, which row should index pick? That's where match comes in. So type match, open parenthesis, 1 and comma. We are telling match to look for the number 1, and that 1 will represent a row where all our conditions are satisfied. The first condition checks the country. So select this range, open parenthesis, and select this country range. Press F4 key equals to this B6 cell. Press F4 key 3 times. Close parenthesis. This compares each country in the data with Germany. Now multiply. The second condition checks the month. Now open parenthesis and select this whole range. Now press F4 key equals to this C4 cell, which is January 2026. Close parenthesis. This compares each date with the month shown in the header. Now here's the key idea. When we multiply these two conditions, only the row where both conditions are true will return 1. All other rows return 0. Finally, we ask match to find the row where the result is exactly 1. So we will type comma 0 and close parenthesis 2 times. That row number is then passed back to index, which returns the correct revenue. Now because this is an array formula, we will confirm it using Ctrl, Shift and Enter. Once the formula is confirmed, we drag it across for other months and the logic adjusts automatically. So using index and match, we can achieve the same multi-condition logic in a structured and reliable way. Perfect. The hiring manager reviews the full assessment and everything checks out, and this interview phase comes to a close. So that's how you tackle an Excel interview test step by step with confidence. Let me know in the comments below what your score was out of 4. And if you enjoyed this challenge and want more Excel interview prep, subscribe to Learn Accounting Pro Studio and hit the bell icon to stay updated with every new Excel tutorial. Thanks for watching, keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next one.
Hello friends! In this Excel video, we will learn about the VLOOKUP function and what it really does. First, watch this on screen. I type office chair, press enter, and Excel instantly shows units sold and sales value automatically. Next, I type product mouse, and Excel pulls its respective details automatically. What's happening here is simple. VLOOKUP scans the product name column, finds the matching product in the main table here, and then fetches whatever value that we want it to return. For example, units sold, sales, cost, or profit, all based on the product name. VLOOKUP simply means vertical lookup.
and it looks for a value in one column and returns the related value from a different specified column in the same row. You can download this free Excel template from the video description and practice along step by step. So let's start. The key column here is the product name. That will be our reference point for VLOOKUP. Now click the first cell under the unit sold, type equals to VLOOKUP, hit the tab key. The first argument is the lookup value. Here we will select the cell containing the product name, such as office chair. This tells Excel what it needs to search for. Add a comma to move forward. Now Excel asks for the table array. Select the entire sales table, not just one column. At this point, the range is still flexible, which can break the formula when copied. To fix this, press F4 on the keyboard. Dollar signs appear around the range, locking it in place. This ensures Excel always looks at the same table even when formula is moved. Now add a comma. Excel now asks for the column index number. Count columns from left of the table. Product name is column 1. Unit sold is column 2. So we enter 2, add a comma to continue. For accounting data, we need precision. Type 0 or false to force an exact match. This prevents Excel from guessing and returning the wrong row. Now close parenthesis and press enter. Excel instantly displays the correct unit sold value for the product. As you can see here, office chairs has 110 units sold. This is the first aha moment. One name, one formula, instant result. To apply the same logic to the remaining products, select this cell, double-click the fill handle. Excel copies the formula down and adjusts only the product name reference, as you can see here by viewing the formula. Right? Now here's where efficiency kicks in. Instead of writing a new formula, copy the entire unit sold column, paste it into the sales column. At first, the numbers are wrong. It's giving hash and an error, and that is expected because the lookup value cells changed after we moved the formula. As you can see here, it's showing I5 instead of H5. Now edit the formula in the first cell, press F2 and change the lookup value from I5 to H5. Now change the column index number from 2 to 3 because sales is the third column in the main sales data table. Press enter and then copy the formula down. Now Excel automatically pulls the correct sales value for every product. One formula, 2 outputs, 0 repetition. You can double check it's giving the correct sales value for office chairs and other products. Right? Now here's a situation every accountant eventually faces, and it often arises when you are doing data analysis and you might get wrong data. For example, if any of the product names are repeated in the table by mistake, in that case, what we can do is select this entire product column, go to conditional formatting, then highlight cells rule, and from there, select duplicate values and press OK. Now notice in our main table, the product mouse appears twice. One entry shows 400 units sold and another entry shows 90 units sold. Now look at the lookup table. For product mouse, Excel returns 400 units sold, not 90. Why? Because VLOOKUP always searches from top to bottom and stops at the first match it finds. Excel does not check context. Excel does not ask which mouse you meant. It simply picks the first mouse in the table. As VLOOKUP is live, if unit sold or sales value changes in the main table, the results update instantly in the lookup table. For example, if I change the unit sold against office chair, Then notice it also changes here, and similarly, if I change sales value, then Excel updates that too, as you can see here. This is perfect for dashboards and reports that must stay current. Sometimes accountants need fixed numbers. To do this, first I will undo this, then select the result columns, press Ctrl C on the keyboard, and then right mouse click, and from here I will select paste values. This removes formulas and freezes the results permanently. That's how VLOOKUP turns a simple product name into instant accounting insights. Subscribe to Learn Accounting Pro Studio and hit the bell icon for more Excel formulas that save time, reduces errors, and make you faster at work. Thanks for watching, keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next one. Excel यूजर्स, अगर आप अभी भी Excel में मैनुअल रिपोर्ट्स और टोटल्स बना रहे हो तो ये वीडियो आपका टाइम बचाने वाली है। ये देखो, वर्कशीट 1 पर रॉ डाटा बिल्कुल मैसी और वर्कशीट 2 पर इजी स्टेप्स में कंप्लीट पिवट रिपोर्ट विद स्लाइसर्स। ना कोई फार्मूला, ना मैनुअल सम। अभी मैं लाइव आपको दिखाऊंगा कि सिर्फ ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप से इंटरैक्टिव डैशबोर्ड कैसे बनाते हैं। वीडियो एंड तक देखो क्योंकि लास्ट में मैं स्लाइसर यूज करके डाटा को क्लिकेबल बनाऊंगा। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। सबसे पहले अपने पूरे डाटा टेबल को सिलेक्ट करें जिसको एनालाइज करना है। यहाँ मेरे पास एज एन एग्जांपल एक स्टेशनरी शॉप का रॉ डाटा अवेलेबल है। अगर आप कंप्लीट टेबल सिलेक्ट करना चाहते हैं तो कीबोर्ड से कंट्रोल ए प्रेस करें। अब टॉप रिबन में इंसर्ट टैब पर जाएं और पिवट टेबल पर क्लिक करें। एक न्यू विंडो ओपन होगी। यहाँ पिवट टेबल के लिए डिफॉल्ट लोकेशन न्यू वर्कशीट होती है, उसको ओके कर दें। अब पिवट फील्ड लिस्ट में हम अपने वेरिएबल्स को ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप करेंगे। एग्जाम्पल के लिए स्टेट को हम रो में ड्रैग करेंगे, रेवेन्यू को वैल्यूज में और एक्सपेंसेस को भी वैल्यूज में। अब आपको हर स्टेट का टोटल रेवेन्यू और टोटल एक्सपेंस ऑटोमेटिकली मिल जाएगा। ये मैनुअल सम लगाने से बहुत फास्ट है और डायनामिक भी है। अगर आप और डिटेल चाहते हैं जैसे कि कस्टमर नेम या कैटेगरी तो उन्हें भी रोज सेक्शन में ड्रैग करें। मैं यहाँ कस्टमर नेम को ड्रैग करूंगा लाइक दिस। अब लेआउट को क्लीन बनाने के लिए रिबन में डिजाइन पर क्लिक करेंगे, देन रिपोर्ट लेआउट एंड देन शो इन टेबुलर फॉर्म। इससे हर फील्ड अलग कॉलम में शो होती है और रिपोर्ट रीडेबल हो जाती है। डिफॉल्ट पिवट टेबल हर फील्ड का सब टोटल शो करता है जैसे कि आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं, और एक ग्रैंड टोटल भी शो करता है। अगर आपको क्लीन रिपोर्ट चाहिए तो डिजाइन पर क्लिक करें एंड देन सब टोटल्स एंड डू नॉट शो सब टोटल्स। अब सिर्फ एक्चुअल टोटल्स और डिटेल्स लाइन्स शो होंगी। ये अकाउंटिंग रिपोर्ट के लिए ज़्यादा प्रोफेशनल लुक देता है, बट मुझे यहाँ सब टोटल्स चाहिए तो मैं कीबोर्ड पर कंट्रोल Z क्लिक करके इसको अनडू कर दूंगा। अब हम अपने टेबल में स्लाइसर ऐड करेंगे। ये सिंपल स्टेप आपके बेसिक पिवट टेबल को डैशबोर्ड स्टाइल इंटरैक्टिव रिपोर्ट बना देता है। अब हम ये पिवट टेबल को सिलेक्ट करेंगे। रिबन में हम लोग पिवट टेबल एनालाइज पे जाएंगे एंड यहाँ इंसर्ट स्लाइसर को क्लिक करेंगे। अब फील्ड्स की लिस्ट खुलेगी। इस टेबल के लिए जो स्लाइसर सबसे यूजफुल है वो है स्टेट, तो मैं इसको सिलेक्ट कर लूंगा एंड देन ओके प्रेस करेंगे। अब स्क्रीन पर कुछ बटन्स आ जाएंगे। किसी भी बटन पर क्लिक करते ही पिवट रिपोर्ट इंस्टेंटली फिल्टर हो जाएगी लाइक दिस, राइट। तो इस तरह आज आपने बहुत इजी स्टेप्स में पिवट टेबल और स्लाइसर यूज करके रॉ डाटा को इंटरैक्टिव रिपोर्ट में कन्वर्ट करना सीखा है। यही स्किल आपको एक्सेल में बिगिनर टू प्रोफेशनल बनाती है। अगर आपको ये ट्यूटोरियल हेल्पफुल लगा तो वीडियो को लाइक करें, चैनल लर्न अकाउंटिंग प्रो स्टूडियो को सब्सक्राइब करें और कमेंट में लिखें कि नेक्स्ट आप कौन सा एक्सेल का ट्यूटोरियल देखना चाहते हैं। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग, कीप लर्निंग, कीप ग्रोइंग एंड आई विल सी यू इन द नेक्स्ट वन।
वॉरेन बफेट का कहना है कि अकाउंटिंग बिजनेस की जुबान है और ये हर इन्वेस्टर और बिजनेस ओनर के लिए बहुत ज़रूरी स्किल है। इस वीडियो में लर्न अकाउंटिंग प्रो स्टूडियो आपको 10 मिनट्स के अंदर शॉर्ट और क्लियर तरीके से फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स समझाएगा, बैलेंस शीट, इनकम स्टेटमेंट एंड कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स क्या होते हैं? ये वो रिपोर्ट्स होती हैं जो एक बिजनेस के एसेट्स एंड लायबिलिटीज़ और फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस को समराइज करते हैं। कंपनीज आमतौर पर ये रिपोर्ट्स हर अकाउंटिंग पीरियड के एंड पर बनाती हैं, जो आमतौर पर क्वार्टर या साल होता है। इन रिपोर्ट्स का मकसद मैनेजर्स, इन्वेस्टर्स और लेंडर्स और अदर स्टेक होल्डर्स को कंपनी की फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन का ओवरव्यू देना होता है। 3 अहम फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स होते हैं: बैलेंस शीट, इनकम स्टेटमेंट एंड कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट। हर स्टेटमेंट का अपना एक स्पेसिफिक सवाल होता है जिसका जवाब वो देता है ताकि रीडर को कंपनी की फाइनेंशियल हेल्थ का मुकम्मल ओवरव्यू मिल सके। अब हम लर्न अकाउंटिंग प्रो स्टूडियो की फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स को एज एन एग्जांपल लेते हैं और सबसे पहले बैलेंस शीट को समझते हैं। ये रिकॉर्ड होता है कंपनी की वो चीज़ें जो वो ओन करती है और जो जिम्मेदारियाँ उस पर होती हैं। बैलेंस शीट का असल सवाल ये होता है आपकी नेट वर्थ क्या है। बैलेंस शीट के 3 बुनियादी हिस्से होते हैं: एसेट्स, लायबिलिटीज़ और कैपिटल। बैलेंस शीट को कंट्रोल करने वाली मास्टर इक्वेशन ये है: एसेट्स इज इक्वल टू लायबिलिटीज़ प्लस कैपिटल, यानी एसेट्स हमेशा इन दोनों के बराबर होने चाहिए। इसी बैलेंस की वजह से इस शीट को बैलेंस शीट कहा जाता है। ये भी याद रखें कि बैलेंस शीट एक पॉइंट इन टाइम स्नैपशॉट होती है, जैसे किसी कंपनी की नेटवर्थ का एक तस्वीर। इसलिए जब आप बैलेंस शीट देखें तो उस पर हमेशा एक स्पेसिफिक डेट लिखी होती है, वही दिन जब ये तस्वीर ली गई थी। अब एसेट्स को डिटेल से देखते हैं। एसेट्स वो सब कुछ होते हैं जो कंपनी के पास वैल्यू की सूरत में होते हैं, जैसे कैश, इन्वेंट्री और प्रॉपर्टी, प्लांट एंड इक्विपमेंट। एसेट्स को 2 बड़ी सब कैटेगरीज में बांटा जाता है: करंट एसेट्स और लॉन्ग टर्म एसेट्स, जो कि नॉन करंट एसेट्स भी कहलाते हैं। करंट एसेट्स वो चीज़ें हैं जो कंपनी एक साल के अंदर इस्तेमाल या कन्वर्ट करने की उम्मीद रखती है, मिसाल के तौर पर कैश, रिसीवेबल्स और स्टॉक, इन्वेंट्री। लॉन्ग टर्म एसेट्स वो होते हैं जो 1 साल से ज़्यादा अरसे तक कंपनी को फ़ायदा देती हैं, जैसे बिल्डिंग्स, इक्विपमेंट्स, पेटेंट्स, गुडविल। दूसरा अहम कंपोनेंट लायबिलिटी है, यानी वो कर्ज और जिम्मेदारियां जो कंपनी दूसरों को देती है, जैसे सप्लायर्स, एम्प्लॉयज़ और लेंडर्स को। लायबिलिटीज़ भी 2 सब कैटेगरीज में होती हैं: करंट लायबिलिटीज़ और नॉन करंट लायबिलिटीज़। करंट लायबिलिटीज़ वो बिल्स और जिम्मेदारियां हैं जो 1 साल के अंदर अदा की जाती हैं, जैसे पेबल्स, एक्रूड एक्सपेंसेस, शॉर्ट टर्म डेट। लॉन्ग टर्म लायबिलिटीज़ वो हैसियत रखती हैं जो 1 साल से ज़्यादा अरसे में अदा होंगी, मिसाल के तौर पर लॉन्ग टर्म लोन्स, कन्वर्टेबल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स। तीसरा कंपोनेंट शेयर होल्डर्स इक्विटी है, जो कि कैपिटल भी कहलाता है। ये कंपनी का वो हिस्सा होता है जो ओनर्स या शेयर होल्डर्स का क्लेम दिखाता है। इसे आप कंपनी का पेपर नेटवर्थ समझ सकते हैं। इक्विटी के 2 मेन सोर्सेज होते हैं। पहला इन्वेस्टर्स का कैपिटल जो बिजनेस में डाला गया, जैसे कॉमन स्टॉक, ऑर्डिनरी शेयर्स, प्रेफर्ड स्टॉक या पेड इन कैपिटल। दूसरा वो प्रॉफिट्स जो कंपनी ने कमाए मगर डिस्ट्रीब्यूट नहीं किए, यानी रिटेन अर्निंग्स। अब आते हैं इनकम स्टेटमेंट पर। इनकम स्टेटमेंट कंपनी की रेवेन्यू, एक्सपेंसेस और प्रॉफिट्स को दिखाता है। इसका सवाल ये होता है, क्या बिजनेस प्रॉफिटेबल है? इनकम स्टेटमेंट एक ड्यूरेशन को मेजर करता है। इसका स्टार्ट डेट और एंड डेट होता है, यानी पीरियड बेस्ड होता है ये। इनकम स्टेटमेंट की टॉप लाइन रेवेन्यू होती है, वो तमाम सेल्स जो एक पीरियड के दौरान होती हैं। रेवेन्यू में से हम स्टेप बाय स्टेप कंपनी के मुख्तलिफ एक्सपेंसेस माइनस करते जाते हैं जब हम नीचे जा रहे होते हैं। एक्सपेंसेस आम तौर पर 4 बड़ी कैटेगरीज में डिवाइड होते हैं: कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स सोल्ड, ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस, नॉन ऑपरेटिंग आइटम्स और इनकम टैक्सेस। कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स सोल्ड वो डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट होती हैं जो प्रोडक्ट बनाने या सर्विस डिलीवर करने में लगती हैं। ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस वो ओवरहेड्स होते हैं जैसे सैलरीज, रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट और सेलिंग एक्सपेंसेस। नॉन ऑपरेटिंग आइटम्स आमतौर पर इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंस होते हैं। और चौथा कैटेगरी टैक्सेस है जो आप लोग गवर्नमेंट को पे करते हैं। जब हम इनकम स्टेटमेंट पर प्रोग्रेस करते हैं और एक्सपेंसेस माइनस करते हैं तो हमें मुख्तलिफ प्रॉफिट मेजर्स मिलते हैं। सबसे आम और मशहूर प्रॉफिट मेजर नेट इनकम होता है, जिसे बॉटम लाइन या अर्निंग्स भी कहते हैं। नेट इनकम या नेट प्रॉफिट वो टोटल प्रॉफिट है जो कंपनी जनरेट करती है सारे एक्सपेंसेस सब्ट्रैक्ट करने के बाद। लेकिन प्रॉफिट्स को दूसरे अंदाज में भी मेजर किया जा सकता है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन के आप किस चीज़ को सब्ट्रैक्ट करते हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट इज इक्वल टू रेवेन्यू माइनस कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स सोल्ड होता है। ऑपरेटिंग इनकम या ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट जो है वो रेवेन्यू माइनस कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स सोल्ड और ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस होता है। प्री टैक्स इनकम वो होता है जो टैक्सेस माइनस करने से पहले का अर्निंग्स दिखाता है। ये बहुत ज़रूरी बात है कि इनकम स्टेटमेंट एक्रूअल अकाउंटिंग पर मबनी होता है। एक्रूअल अकाउंटिंग का मतलब ये है कि रेवेन्यू तब रिकॉर्ड होता है जब वो अर्न होता है और एक्सपेंसेस तब जब वो इनकर होते हैं, चाहे कैश एक्सचेंज हुआ हो या नहीं। रेवेन्यू और कैश रिसीव होने के टाइमिंग अक्सर मैच नहीं करते। फॉर एग्जांपल, जब हम क्रेडिट पर सेल करते हैं, इसलिए एक्रूअल अकाउंटिंग से वो ट्रांजैक्शंस रिकॉर्ड की जाती हैं। मगर इसके बावजूद कंपनी के लिए ये जानना क्रिटिकल है कि कितना कैश असल में कंपनी से गुजरता है, इसलिए कैश फ्लो को ट्रैक करना ज़रूरी है। अब कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट पर आते हैं। ये स्टेटमेंट इनकम स्टेटमेंट से मिलती जुलती है, लेकिन इसका फोकस ये होता है क्या कंपनी कैश जनरेट कर रही है या कंज्यूम। कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट भी एक पीरियड कवर करती है। इसका स्टार्ट और एंड डेट होता है, जबकि इनकम स्टेटमेंट एक्रूअल अकाउंटिंग यूज़ करती है। कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट कैश अकाउंटिंग पर बेस्ड होता है। कैश अकाउंटिंग में रिकॉर्ड करने का एक ही पॉइंट देखा जाता है, क्या कैश रिसीव हुआ या पेड हुआ और कब हुआ। कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट को 3 मेजर सेक्शंस में तकसीम किया जाता है: ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटीज़, फाइनेंसिंग एक्टिविटीज़ और इन्वेस्टिंग एक्टिविटीज़। ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटीज़ वो कैश फ्लोज हैं जो बिजनेस चलाने से ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं। फाइनेंसिंग एक्टिविटीज़ वो कैश फ्लोज हैं जो बिजनेस को फाइनेंस करने से रिलेटेड होते हैं, जैसे डेट लेना, रीपे करना, स्टॉक इशू करना या डिविडेंड देना। इन्वेस्टिंग एक्टिविटीज़ वो कैश मूवमेंट्स हैं जो बिजनेस में इन्वेस्ट करने से मुताल्लिक होती हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल, एसेट्स खरीदना या इन्वेस्टमेंट्स बेचना। कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट की टॉप लाइन आमतौर पर इनकम होती है, जो इनकम स्टेटमेंट की बॉटम लाइन यानी कि नेट प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स होती है। इस तरह इन दोनों स्टेटमेंट्स में लिंक पैदा होता है। नेट इनकम से शुरू करके हम सब नॉन कैश चार्जेस लाइक डिप्रिसिएशन और वर्किंग कैपिटल चेंजेस ऐड बैक करते या एडजस्ट करते हैं ताकि पता चले कि रियल कैश फ्लो क्या है। नॉन कैश चार्जेस में डिप्रिसिएशन जैसे आइटम्स शामिल होते हैं जो प्रॉफिट को कम करते हैं मगर कैश को इफेक्ट नहीं करते। वर्किंग कैपिटल चेंजेस में रिसीवेबल्स, पेबल्स, इन्वेंट्री वगैरह की मूवमेंट शामिल होती हैं। कंपनी के पास कैश इनफ्लोज हो सकते हैं जो इन्वेस्टमेंट्स बेचने, डेट इशू करने या स्टॉक इशू करने से आते हैं। वैसे ही कैश आउटफ्लोज होते हैं जैसे कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर, एक्विजिशन, डेट रीपेमेंट, स्टॉक रिपर्चेजेस या डिविडेंड पेमेंट्स। हम तीनों कैटेगरी से आने वाले नेट कैश चेंजेस को जोड़ते हैं और ये बताता है टोटल चेंजेस इन कैश ड्यूरिंग द पीरियड। फिर इस चेंज को पीरियड के स्टार्ट कैश बैलेंस में ऐड सब्ट्रैक्ट करने से पीरियड का एंडिंग कैश बैलेंस मिलता है, जो बैलेंस शीट में आपको करंट एसेट्स में दिखता है कैश बैलेंस में। अब छोटा सा रिकैप कर लेते हैं। बैलेंस शीट रिकॉर्ड करता है क्या कंपनी ओन करती है और क्या ओ करती है। ये पॉइंट इन टाइम स्नैपशॉट है और एक्रूअल अकाउंटिंग यूज़ करता है। इनकम स्टेटमेंट कंपनी का रेवेन्यूज और एक्सपेंसेस दिखाता है। ये एक पीरियड के ऊपर मेजर होता है और एक्रूअल अकाउंटिंग यूज़ करता है। कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट बिजनेस में कैश का इनफ्लो और आउटफ्लो ट्रैक करता है। ये पीरियड बेस्ड होता है लेकिन कैश अकाउंटिंग यूज़ करता है। हर कंपनी थोड़े डिफरेंट नेमिंग और लेआउट यूज़ कर सकते हैं। बैलेंस शीट को आप नेट वर्थ स्टेटमेंट, स्टेटमेंट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल पोजीशन या फाइनेंशियल स्टेटस रिपोर्ट भी नेम कर सकते हैं। इनकम स्टेटमेंट को अर्निंग स्टेटमेंट, स्टेटमेंट ऑफ ऑपरेशंस या प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट भी कह सकते हैं। अगर ये ट्यूटोरियल आपके काम आया तो लाइक करें और नीचे कमेंट्स में बताएं कि आप किस चीज़ पर मज़ीद डिटेल्स चाहेंगे। लर्न अकाउंटिंग प्रो स्टूडियो आपके सवालात के जवाब देगा। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग, कीप लर्निंग, कीप ग्रोइंग एंड आई विल सी यू इन द नेक्स्ट वन। हेलो व्यूअर्स, इस वीडियो में मैं आपको सिखाऊंगा कि एक्सेल में सिर्फ 15 मिनट्स के अंदर ऑटोमेटेड बजट कैसे क्रिएट होता है, जिसको आप ऑटोमेटिक ट्रैकर की हेल्प से मॉनिटर कर सकते हैं, लाइक दिस। इस बजट का फ्री टेम्पलेट आप इस वीडियो की डिस्क्रिप्शन में दिए हुए लिंक के थ्रू डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। सबसे पहले हमें एक टेबल बनाना है जिसमें हम अपनी ट्रांजैक्शंस एंटर करेंगे। यहाँ 2 रोज छोड़ के A3 सेल से स्टार्ट लेंगे एंड कॉलम्स के लिए हेडिंग्स ऐड करेंगे। मंथ, डेट, डिस्क्रिप्शन, कैटेगरी, डेबिट फॉर एक्सपेंसेस, क्रेडिट फॉर इनकम एंड फाइनली हमारा बैलेंस का कॉलम। फिर हम अपने इन कॉलम्स को इस तरह सेलेक्ट करके अपने डिजायर्ड एरिया तक इसको हाईलाइट करेंगे। आप लोग जितना भी एक्सटेंड इसको करना चाहते हैं आप कर सकते हैं एंड कीबोर्ड पर कंट्रोल T प्रेस करके माई टेबल एज हेडर्स वाले बॉक्स को हम चेक करेंगे एंड ओके प्रेस करेंगे एंड इस तरह हमारा टेबल क्रिएट हो गया है, राइट। अब नेक्स्ट यहाँ मैं डेट कॉलम को फॉर्मेट करूँगा। हम अपनी डेट एंटर करते हैं, कीबोर्ड पर कंट्रोल 1 प्रेस करके हम अपनी डेट का डिजायर्ड फॉर्मेट सेलेक्ट कर लेंगे एंड ओके प्रेस करेंगे, राइट। अब यहाँ मंथ वाले कॉलम में आ जाएंगे एंड यहाँ एक फॉर्मूला लगाएंगे जिससे डेट से सिर्फ मंथ नंबर निकल आएगा। फॉर्मूला इज इक्वल्स टू मंथ ओपन पैरेंथेसिस एंड ये डेट वाला हमारा जो फर्स्ट सेल है B4 इसको सिलेक्ट करेंगे, क्लोज पैरेंथेसिस एंड हिट एंटर एंड here you can see ये हमारा मंथ यहाँ 1 शो कर रहा है। अगर हम यहाँ लेट्स सपोज मैं इधर फरवरी एंटर करता हूँ तो ये मंथ नंबर 2 शो करेगा, राइट। बट ये जो टेबल है हमारा ये क्लीन नहीं दिख रहा, इसके लिए हम लोग इस फॉर्मूला को मॉडिफाई करेंगे। F2 प्रेस करके यहाँ इक्वल्स टू साइन के बाद हम इफ का फंक्शन ऐड करेंगे एंड ये जो B4 डेट है इसका सेल और फंक्शन में हम देंगे इफ दिस B4 डेट सेल इज इक्वल्स टू empty then return as empty, अदरवाइज हमारा ये जो मंथ एंड डेट वाला फॉर्मूला है ये अप्लाई हो। क्लोज पैरेंथेसिस एंड हिट एंटर एंड हियर यू कैन सी हमारा फॉर्मूला तो सारे सेल्स में हमारे टेबल में लग चुका है, लेकिन ये जो 1 या 2 हमारे मंथ का ये यहाँ नंबर बताएगा ये हमारा तभी बताएगा जब हम यहाँ डेट एंटर करेंगे, राइट। नेक्स्ट हम यहाँ इस कैटेगरी कॉलम के लिए ड्रॉप डाउन क्रिएट करेंगे ताकि हर एक्सपेंस को एक कैटेगरी असाइन हो। इसके लिए हम लोग अपना फुल जो रेंज है वो सिलेक्ट कर लेंगे एंड डाटा में जाके डाटा वैलिडेशन अलाउ लिस्ट से आपने लिस्ट सिलेक्ट करना है एंड सोर्स में हमने अपनी कैटेगरीज लिख देनी है कॉमा सेपरेटेड। सो फॉर एग्जांपल मैं यहाँ इनकम कॉमा रेंट कॉमा यूटिलिटीज कॉमा सैलरीज कॉमा एंड फाइनली एंटरटेनमेंट एंड क्लिक ऑन ओके। तो आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ हमारी सारी कॉलम डी में कैटेगरी में ये ड्रॉप डाउन लिस्ट क्रिएट हो चुकी है। यहाँ से आप लोग अपने इनकम एंड एक्सपेंसेस की कैटेगरी सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट मैं ये डेबिट क्रेडिट एंड बैलेंस वाले कॉलम्स को अपनी फुल रेंज को सिलेक्ट करके ये होम पे अपना $, हम या जो भी करेंसी का फॉर्मेट आपने असाइन करना है वो हम असाइन कर देंगे इसको दिस, राइट। यहाँ मैं इसकी थोड़ी सी फॉर्मेटिंग कर लेता हूँ। इसको हम लोग बोल्ड एंड मिडल, राइट। अब हम अपने रनिंग बैलेंस के लिए यहाँ फॉर्मूला एंटर करेंगे, बट उससे पहले मैं सिंपल डाटा एंटर करता हूँ अपने टेबल को पॉपुलेट करने के लिए, राइट। अब हम 2 इजी स्टेप्स में अपना रनिंग बैलेंस कैलकुलेट करेंगे। सबसे पहले अपना ये जो ओपनिंग बैलेंस है इनकम का, इसको मैनुअली एंटर करें। इधर G4 सेल में हम 1000 USD एंटर कर लेंगे। फिर G5 सेल में ये फॉर्मूला लगाएंगे, इक्वल्स टू दिस G4 प्लस क्रेडिट माइनस डेबिट एंड हिट एंटर, राइट। तो इस 1000 से ये 30 माइनस होके यहाँ 970 हमारा बैलेंस आ गया। ये फॉर्मूला पिछले बैलेंस को लेता है, उसमें इनकम ऐड करता है और एक्सपेंस माइनस करता है। इस तरह हर रो का रनिंग बैलेंस कैलकुलेट होता रहेगा। फिर इस फॉर्मूला को कॉपी करके Ctrl+C एंड पूरे बैलेंस वाले कॉलम में आप पेस्ट कर दें, एक्सेप्ट अपने ओपनिंग बैलेंस वाले सेल में, राइट। अब साइड में यहाँ एक छोटा सा समरी सेक्शन बनाएंगे जहाँ कैटेगरीज और उनके टोटल्स आएंगे। कॉलम आई में हम कैटेगरीज लिस्ट करेंगे। मेक श्योर करें कि जो कैटेगरीज आप नेम लिख रहे हैं उसकी स्पेलिंग आपकी इससे मैच करे। अगर डिफरेंस हुआ तो फिर फॉर्मूला से प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है, राइट। इसको थोड़ा एक्सटेंड कर देंगे। कॉलम जे में यहाँ हम अपनी बजट वैल्यूज कैलकुलेट करेंगे। कॉलम के में एक्चुअल वैल्यूज कैलकुलेट करेंगे और कॉलम एल में हम परसेंटेज यूज्ड कैलकुलेट करेंगे। मंथ सिलेक्शन के लिए एक ड्रॉप डाउन I3 सेल में हम क्रिएट करेंगे। इसके लिए हम लोग डाटा टैब में जाके डाटा वैलिडेशन, अलाउ में हम लोग लिस्ट एंड सोर्स में 12 मंथ्स अपने लिखेंगे कॉमा सेपरेटेड, सो 1, 2 एंड फाइनली 12 एंड ओके प्रेस करेंगे। सो हियर हमारा ये मंथ का ड्रॉप डाउन लिस्ट क्रिएट हो चुका है, राइट। अब इसकी थोड़ी फॉर्मेटिंग कर लेते हैं। मिडिल, राइट। इसको हम लोग बॉर्डर्स करके ऑल बॉर्डर कर लेते हैं। हेडिंग्स को बोल्ड, ड्रॉप डाउन के लिए हम लोग कलर अपना चेंज कर लेंगे। एंड हेडिंग्स के लिए हम लोग ये वाला कलर सिलेक्ट कर लेंगे। राइट। यहाँ इनकम की एक्चुअल वैल्यूज के लिए हम लोग फॉर्मूला लगाएंगे, इक्वल्स टू सम इफ्स ओपन पैरेंथेसिस सम रेंज में हम लोग अपना ये क्रेडिट साइड जो है इसको सिलेक्ट कर लेंगे, हमारा कॉलम F, एंड इसको हम फिक्स करने के लिए डॉलर साइन कीबोर्ड पर F4 प्रेस करेंगे, कॉमा। क्राइटेरिया रेंज 1 हम लोग अपना कॉलम A सिलेक्ट करेंगे और इसको भी हम डॉलर साइन से फिक्स करेंगे F4, कॉमा। क्राइटेरिया 1 हमारा है ये जो हमने मंथ का ड्रॉप डाउन लिस्ट क्रिएट किया है, इसको I3 सेल, इसको भी डॉलर साइन से हम फिक्स करेंगे, कॉमा। क्राइटेरिया रेंज 2 हमारी ये कैटेगरी जो हमारा कॉलम है इसको हम करेंगे सिलेक्ट, इसको भी हम लोग फिक्स कर देंगे विद डॉलर साइन, कॉमा। एंड फाइनली हमारा जो क्राइटेरिया 2 है उसके लिए हम ये इनकम को सिलेक्ट करेंगे, इस पे डॉलर साइन नहीं लगाएंगे, क्लोज पैरेंथेसिस एंड हिट एंटर। सो हियर यू कैन सी 2000 हमारा जो मंथ नंबर 1 में आ रहा है वो यहाँ सम हो चुका है। ये फॉर्मूला इनकम कॉलम का टोटल निकालता है सिर्फ उस मंथ के लिए जो आपने I3 में सिलेक्ट किया होगा। अब एक्सपेंसेस के लिए हम लोग फॉर्मूला एंटर करेंगे, इक्वल्स टू सम इफ्स ओपन पैरेंथेसिस, सम रेंज हमारी होगी ये ई कॉलम जहाँ डेबिट्स हैं, डॉलर साइन, कॉमा, क्राइटेरिया रेंज 1 सेम हमारा कॉलम ए, डॉलर साइन, कॉमा, क्राइटेरिया 1 हमारा ये I3 सेल, डॉलर साइन, कॉमा, क्राइटेरिया रेंज 2 हमारा ये डी कॉलम, डॉलर साइन, कॉमा, एंड क्राइटेरिया 2 ये जो एक्सपेंस है रेंट, ये करके डॉलर साइन नहीं लगाएंगे, क्लोज पैरेंथेसिस एंड एंटर, एंड ये हमारा एक्सपेंसेस का टोटल आ गया है फर्स्ट मंथ का। ये फॉर्मूला सिर्फ सिलेक्टेड मंथ के रेंट एक्सपेंसेस का टोटल शो करेगा। इसी तरह बाकी कैटेगरीज के लिए भी इस फॉर्मूले को कॉपी करके नीचे अपनी अपनी कैटेगरी के सामने पेस्ट कर देंगे, लाइक दिस, राइट। अब यहाँ हम बजट वाले कॉलम में अपनी जो वैल्यूज हैं वो भी पुट कर देंगे। ये आप लोग अपने बजट के हिसाब से जो ईयरली या मंथली बजट होता है वो आप खुद डिसाइड करके यहाँ कर सकते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल हम लोग ये वैल्यूज एंटर कर लेंगे, हमारी बजटेड वैल्यूज। अब हम इस रेंज को सिलेक्ट करके यहाँ डॉलर साइन इसको असाइन कर देंगे, राइट। अब हम यहाँ समरी सेक्शन में इनकम और एक्सपेंस के टोटल्स के लिए प्रोग्रेस बार्स लगाते हैं विजुअल अपीयरेंस के लिए। सो यहाँ इनकम वाले एक्चुअल सेल में आकर आपने कंडीशनल फॉर्मेटिंग को सिलेक्ट करना है। डेटा बार्स इनकम के लिए हम लोग ग्रीन बार सिलेक्ट कर लेंगे और एक्सपेंसेस के लिए हम लोग डेटा बार्स एंड रेड कलर सिलेक्ट कर लेंगे, राइट। फिर इनकम को ट्रैक करने के लिए हम लोग इनकम के इस सेल में आकर कंडीशनल फॉर्मेटिंग में जाके मैनेज रूल्स, डबल क्लिक हेयर एंड यहाँ टाइप में आकर हम लोग नंबर्स सिलेक्ट करेंगे, मैक्सिमम में भी यहाँ नंबर, एंड यहाँ हमने अपना बजटेड जो है वो 4000 इधर लिख देना है एंड प्रेस ओके, अप्लाई एंड ओके। सो ये देख लें हम लोगों का 50% ये हाफ बार शो कर रहा है 4000 का हमारा बजटेड है, हमने 2000 अचीव किया है। इसी तरह हर एक्सपेंस कैटेगरी की भी कंडीशनल फॉर्मेटिंग करेंगे अपने अपने बजटेड वैल्यूज के साथ। सो फॉर रेंट कंडीशनल फॉर्मेटिंग में जाके मैनेज रूल्स, डबल क्लिक हेयर, नंबर एंड हमने बजटेड अपना 400 लेट सपोज किया है, ओके, अप्लाई एंड ओके। तो ये हमारा फुल इसीलिए शो कर रहा है क्योंकि हमने 400 आउट ऑफ 400 एक्सपेंस रेंट अपना अचीव कर लिया है। इसी तरह यूटिलिटीज में आके मैनेज रूल्स, डबल क्लिक, नंबर एंड हमारी जो बजटेड वैल्यू है वो 300 है, प्रेस ओके, अप्लाई एंड ओके। तो ये देखें आउट ऑफ 300 हमने 180 अचीव, 180 हमने एक्सपेंस आउट कर लिया है। सिमिलरली इनका भी हम लोग चेंज कर देंगे, राइट। यहाँ परसेंटेज यूज्ड के लिए हम फॉर्मूला यूज करेंगे इक्वल्स टू एक्चुअल डिवाइडेड बाय बजटेड एंड हिट एंटर एंड यू कैन सी ये 50% शो कर रहा है। अब यहाँ हम परसेंटेज के आइकन को क्लिक करके इसको परसेंट में फॉर्मेट कर देंगे लाइक दिस। इसको मिड में करके यहाँ से ही कॉपी करके अपने इन सारे रोज में हम पेस्ट कर देंगे, राइट। अब हम इधर भी प्रोग्रेस बार्स के लिए इनको कलर्स असाइन कर देंगे, green, and red for our expenses. Right? अब इधर इनकम वाले में आके हम लोग कंडीशनल फॉर्मेटिंग में जाके मैनेज रूल्स, डबल क्लिक हियर एंड यहाँ नंबर एंड सेम यहाँ भी नंबर, यहाँ हम लोग 1 एंटर करके ओके, अप्लाई एंड ओके, एंड हियर यू कैन सी यहाँ ये अप्लाई हो चुका है। सिमिलरली रेंट के लिए भी हम लोग मैनेज रूल्स, डबल क्लिक, नंबर एंड यहाँ भी हम 1 करेंगे एंड इसी तरह सब में हम 1 ही एंटर करेंगे, अप्लाई एंड ओके। एंड फाइनली एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए भी हम लोग मैनेज रूल्स, डबल क्लिक, नंबर एंड यहाँ 1, ओके, अप्लाई एंड ओके। सो इस तरह से हमारी कंडीशनल फॉर्मेटिंग अप्लाई हो चुकी है। अब आप डाटा में चेंजेस करके देख सकते हैं कि आपके ट्रैकर्स फुली ऑटोमेट हो चुके हैं। सो लेट्स सपोज हम लोग यहाँ अपने रेंट को 500 करके देखते हैं। ये देखें हमें यहाँ 125% ये शो कर रहा है एंड सैलरीज को भी हम लोग इंक्रीज करके देखते हैं कि ये इट्स फुली फंक्शनिंग लाइक दिस। और अगर हम लोग यहाँ अपना ड्रॉप डाउन से मंथ चेंज करें तो यहाँ आप लोग देख सकते हैं ये प्रोग्रेस शो कर रहा है। अगर हम यहाँ इसको 4000 कर लें तो ये 100% हो चुका है। राइट? इस तरह आप देख सकते हैं कि आप अपने मंथली गोल्स को कितना अचीव कर चुके हैं। अब लास्ट में हम अपनी कंपनी की एंड रिपोर्ट की हेडिंग के लिए इधर रोज में कंपनी का और रिपोर्ट का नेम एंटर कर देंगे। लर्न अकाउंटिंग प्रो स्टूडियो एंड बजट रिपोर्ट। फॉन्ट का साइज इंक्रीज कर देंगे, bold, and let's change the color to this and font color to this. Right? और बस इसी तरह आपका ऑटोमेटेड बजट हर मंथ के हिसाब से खुद अपडेट होता रहेगा। अगर आपको ये ऑटोमेटेड बजट ट्यूटोरियल पसंद आया हो तो वीडियो को लाइक करें, लर्न अकाउंटिंग प्रो स्टूडियो को सब्सक्राइब करें और कमेंट्स में बताएं कि आप फर्दर कौन से टॉपिक पे ट्यूटोरियल देखना पसंद करेंगे। Thanks for watching, keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello viewers, want to instantly turn numbers into words in Excel without typing everything manually? Stick around, this trick will save you time every single day. In this video, Learn Accounting Pro Studio will show you how to create a SpellNumber function in Excel that converts any number into words with your chosen currency. So let's start. You can download this free template from the video description to follow along. So viewers, as you would know, Excel doesn't have a built-in SpellNumber function, but we can easily create it ourselves using the VBA editor from the developer tab. If you don't see this developer tab in Excel, no worries. Just right mouse click anywhere on the ribbon, choose the customize the ribbon and check the box for developer tab from here and press OK. Now developer tab will appear at the top. Click on the developer tab and select Visual Basic. This opens the VBA editor where we'll paste our code. Inside this editor, go to Insert and then Module. This is where we place our function so it works across the workbook. I have already attached the complete VBA code in the video description and in the comments, so you can simply copy it from there and paste it into your module. Here is the VBA code. Copy it and paste it into the new module and close the VBA editor. Now go back here. In column B you have amount. In column C you want the words. Just type formula equals to SpellNumber would be able to see it here. Open parenthesis and select this B3 cell, comma, quotation marks. Now select your desired currency, quotation close, comma, now quotation open. Now select your sub-currency, quotation close, comma, and type true if you want to show sub-currency. And there you have $1.00 only. If you change it to false, it will show only $1 only. It will ignore sub-currency. You can also change the currency text, for example, equals to SpellNumber, open parenthesis, select this B4 cell, comma, quotation marks, rupee, quotation close, comma, quotation open, and then paise as your sub-currency, quotation close, comma, and true if you want to show sub-currency. And there you have 156 rupees and 0 paisas only. Now you can drag this formula and apply it to other amounts as well. And don't forget, once you've added this VBA code, make sure to save your file as an Excel macro enabled workbook, otherwise the SpellNumber function won't work the next time you open it. You can do it from File, Save As, choose your location, and from here you can select Excel macro enabled workbook and save it. I've also included a simple set of instructions on how to use this SpellNumber function. You can easily follow these steps for your desired currency and sub-currency settings. So that's how you create a flexible SpellNumber function in Excel that works with any currency and with or without cents. If you found this tutorial helpful, hit subscribe and share this video so more people can learn how to convert numbers into words in Excel. Thanks for watching. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next one.